Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade New York by Night, and enjoy our 10th episode. Yay! We're gonna jump right into it. I think we've done plenty of intros. Guys kinda know who they are. You can backtrack. So unless anyone wants to go around and give anything specific, I can do a little detail of last week. So last week, and where we're going to start this evening, Roland had gone to meet Ike, Nate, and Kim at Claudia's apartment to essentially begin making their plans about what they're going to do with the Setites, how they're going to find out more information about them, how they're going to just proceed from this point forward. The conversation mostly consisted of Nate finding out that Kim, Ike, and Felix and Angel had found a wandering, seemingly deranged Zemisi in the sewers, and that Kim had handed her off to the Tremere, which sent Claudia off to her room for a very important phone call. Nate was very interested in all of this, and once Roland arrived, he began explaining his current situation in that while the blood bond began from Dominic on him, and he is trying to beat it by becoming blood bonded to Sunshine O'Connell, the Nosferatu that he has been friends with for quite some time. So let's get back into the apartment. Just as the conversation was ending last week, Ike had sort of been pushing away. He wasn't really interested in saying too much more. Kim specifically said that she had more she wanted to talk to Claudia about. Sounded like she wanted to speak more in private, just the two of them. Nate is losing his mind, and Roland is standing around still just not sure what to do about this or where to go next. So, y'all can begin.
Okay. Can I talk to you, Claudia?
Yes, she's standing. You guys are all in her living room.
I meant in private.
Okay. So she'll sigh, nod, and just sort of walk towards the her bedroom. Waving you to follow her.
Okay. First of all, I'm really sorry for yelling. I've just been lectured about being young multiple times in the past day or two. And
I understand that is nothing new for being a neonate. Trust me, I went through it myself.
Thank you. But you were saying that the prince hasn't been listening to you on certain things. I don't know. I might maybe have some insight as to why, but I don't know how it connects. Or if it connects.
Well, what I had said at least was that in my conversations with her, I feel like she's not being either forward with information. She's just clammed up, and I just don't know what she's hiding. I'm not saying that all kindred, even us among the Primogen and the Prince, tell each other everything, but she's acting strange. My perception is going a little crazy every time I speak with her lately. So what is it you think you have?
It's too much conjecture to say if she's connected with them. However, I do know that she's been selling werewolf blood and an inordinate amount of it. And
His
considering
dad told me that and the amount, which still, that's why I've been very concerned about what exactly she's getting up to.
Yeah. And what is more interesting is that I didn't know myself until I compared it to a sample. I and the other people who were moving it around are, I don't think, supposed to know.
So she hasn't given you any other information than just that it's going to be coming into the hospital?
Yes, though she offered to put me in touch with people who have experimented with this kind of thing before.
Did she say who?
Dr. Netrich?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know him personally, but yes, he's essentially a very famous now Cadian doctor. He's a clinical researcher as well.
Oh, yeah, she told me a little bit about him. I have not met the man yet. But I'm probably going to in the next couple of days.
Good. So she... Claudia's actually going to sort of pause and contemplate for a minute. I wonder if that's actually more of a distraction than giving you more information.
It might be. Honestly, I didn't want to press too hard. I might work there, but... And I might get irritated at people calling me young, but, like, I know I'm young. And...
Yes, even if it isn't anything conspiratorial, she probably wouldn't give you too much information.
No, yeah. I figured that. I don't know. I didn't know if it was significant to you, considering that it does seem werewolf blood seems to be extremely potent, and if Setites are selling drugs, and she's turning a blind eye to that, and this is essentially a drug for kindred. I don't know. I thought maybe it would connect.
That's actually quite a good observation. The Setites are making moves to gain more territory to sell their drugs, and this is going on at the same time. And Setites, as far as I believe, have, they can have a bit of an addiction to certain types of blood themselves, so maybe they even want it for themselves.
That could be the case. Do you know if, I mean, at the moment I'm just a mover, but especially if Roland is trying to sell things out of his club, do you think there could be a way to maybe, I hate to say get a license, but effectively what that is?
I'm not sure I follow to sell
If
the
there
blood
was
there?
a way, if there was a way to get him to access to this, so that he could sell it out of his club, and therefore they would have like a competition, and it wouldn't necessarily be with the Setites.
I'm afraid you'd have to speak with Regina about that. I mean, I would say that I could, but seeing as I probably shouldn't even understand. Yes, it seems, I feel like that might be a bit confusing. So either her or she's gonna like rub her face and still kind of think about like who she could possibly offer Rita to go talk to.
I mainly wanted to not hear that it was a completely horrible idea in the first place. So
it's hard to say without knowing exactly what her plans for it are. Has she come to pick any up, or has any been taken back out since it's been dropped off?
It's been delivered and dropped off a few times.
To the morgue, but it hasn't left.
Oh, I thought it had.
No, you got a second shipment, so now you went from having 20 in the morgue to 40.
to just having straight up like 40. Oh.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't.
You haven't seen any of that.
Actually, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's just sitting there.
Well, it sounded like this actually wasn't all that long ago, so maybe she is making further plans of where it's supposed to go next, or to whom, but...
In any case, I guess even if I suggest it and I get turned down, the worst that will happen is that I get turned down.
Yes, I suppose the worst could happen is she tells you no, it's for something else. I hate to mention it again, but in fact this case might be where your being a neonate is going to be good, because she might just ignore your questions. Trust me, play to your strengths, whatever they are.
That's true. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I will try to do that then.
If you could, let me know what she says.
Absolutely. I don't know why she's leaving you out.
I have plenty of business that neither she or any of the other Primogen know about. It's how we operate. We're more like a council that she can call upon.
Okay. Understand, and thank you for your patience.
Of course. Claudia's going to, just go straight for leaving the bedroom and wants to see what has been going on. So time-wise, we'll stop there and see what Nate, Roland, and Ike have been up to for the last 10 minutes or so that Kim and Claudia were speaking.
So, Ike, when you were saying that there were Zamisis and the additional Zamisi down there, are we talking 5, 2, 8, 500? What exactly do you mean?
Why do I have a feeling no matter what number I tell you, Nate, you're gonna pop a casket anyway?
No, I'm just mentally preparing for how many of these bastards I'm gonna have to stab.
Are you sure your blood pressure can handle it, buddy?
Considering that my heart's not beating at the moment, yes.
I don't know, man. You seem to get pretty mad about them Jamesi. I don't know. A few powerful ones, a lot of weak ones. One powerful one, several weak ones. Who the hell knows? I was with the rest of the group. I just felt them. It felt like, sort of like a coven of them that you kind of get, what it feels like.
What is a Zamisi?
I'm gonna go first, because I don't think Nate will tell you the right answer. Well, they're nasty motherfuckers.
You think I'm biased?
Just a little bit. But, even me, I don't like him either, to be fair. They're nasty, flesh manipulating, sinful bastards who kind of get their rocks off on really, really hurting, manipulating people, literally.
Are they vampires or are they something else?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. No, they're vampires. They're some
the
of the
other
nastier.
Sabat clan.
Well, I mean, there's more than 2.
Understood. No. And we have a problem with them in the sewers.
Nate definitely has a problem over there, but they don't seem to be doing anything. They don't seem to be bothering anyone, if it's the first ever... Normally you'll know if they're around and doing stuff.
If this was a hellhole of a Sabat city, and there were some Ventru hanging... let me rephrase that. If there was some Tremere hanging out in the sewers of a Sabat city, would they just go, oh no, they're not doing anything down there. They're just down there. They could be minding their own business.
Well, to be fair, we're normally in your cities, not the other way around, so...
You're avoiding the answer.
No, we would probably kill them, but that would be more of a sport thing than an actual important thing. No, I get what you're saying, but this city is, let's just say your house isn't in order at all. You've got anarchs somewhere around here, you've got a den of Setites, you've got Camarilla, you've got Sabat all over the city, it's not exactly put together well, is it?
Ike, I don't mean to pry, but it sounded like you were saying you would be killing Camarilla as if you weren't Camarilla yourself.
Oh, I thought you caught that earlier. I'm not really Camarilla.
Oh, and he'll give you kind of a weird look.
I'm here on sort of like a trial basis, I've been nothing for a long time, and I ended up here, and I like these people, so let's try it out, right? I'm not anti-Camarilla, at least.
No need to. Yes, I understand.
Oh, do you want to go kill some Camarilla with me too?
I believe I have other things I need to go take care of.
Ike,
No.
in the future, you would make my life a lot fucking easier if you would never say words like that again.
Your life might be a little easier if you stopped being upset by words. It's just Shemissy. Like, I don't...
No, I'm not offended by you speaking like that, but there are several out there who would take offense, and just all of our lives would be easier if you weren't so...
Cavalier?
not Camarilla.
Yes! I agree with you, which is why I haven't told anyone that isn't us in this room. Who I know about the blood-bonded, angry guy over there who stole drugs. I know about the flesh-crafting, apparent traitor? I didn't get the whole story. We've got youngins in there talking to everyone. I'm all fucked up. You know, we're a house of mismatches.
A right-up coterie of misfits.
But trust me, I won't say anything in front of them. Well, unless I think they can handle it.
Just making sure that we're on the same page.
Yes, Dad.
Now you are playing that child card on me.
Sorry, Dad.
Just stop, please.
Okay, mister.
Anyways,
Nate, do these Zamisi, do you have a problem with them in the sewer?
just think of it less specifically in the fact that it's VC and the fact that it is obvious a bot in the sewers. The thing is with the Zamisi is they never break. They never anti-tribute. They are always monsters, even if they're not with the Sabat, which means they're a problem. The difference between them and other, say, if he had said there are 5 random La Sombra in the sewers, well, maybe they're simply hiding is an actual possibility.
I'd be more worried of La Sombra. They usually have plans. Missy just gotta fuck everything up. Not that I would know, you know, of course.
So do you plan on going after them, or?
No, he doesn't. Not yet.
Eventually.
When there are
Though I
less...
suppose the business with the Sedites comes first.
That was what I was wondering. Thank you.
As painful as that is for me to say.
Don't worry. We'll go out and check it out at some point together just for funsies, okay?
And here I am being all incredibly excited about going and delving into a sewer. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Don't worry. When the old man went down there, he kind of fell in, so that was fun.
About that time, Claudia would become walking out of her bedroom with Kim trailing behind. So, what have you all decided? Gotten in more trouble for me?
Oh, I'm gonna go back and pledge allegiance to the Anarchs tomorrow.
All 3 of us, in fact, and we're blood bonded now all to each other.
They went with the boulder with me!
That sounds fun. Can I join?
I can
It's
kill
a
all of you
boys'
right
club,
now,
no women
just-
allowed.
Sorry, Mom.
Anyway. Yes, Roland?
All jokes aside, are there... am I free to go? Is there something you need me to do specifically?
She's going to walk up, just, hand on your shoulder and, walk you towards the door, step outside, and speaking to you privately, not whispering super quiet, just wanted to, step away with you, and she's going to, say, Roland, as I've mentioned before, I think the best course of action for right now is for you to head back, speak with Dominic, learn more of what you can, and then get back to us. If you ever feel uncomfortable or like if you ever feel in danger, let me know right away. I will do what I can. We'll change strategy from there, but I think at this point we need more information.
We already know where he lives. We know his hideouts. I know 2 of his bodyguards. What other information do we need?
You know where one snake nest is. We don't know where the others are and how many live there.
How much higher does the ladder go than Dominic?
I can't be sure, but I feel relatively positive that he's not the top. And if he's important, which it seems he is, then taking him out in his own compound will likely stir the other nests.
Okay, I have some other people that I can ask questions. Maybe they might know something, but yes, I'll go on and just play normal, as you would say.
Good. Whatever you find, let me know as soon as possible. She's gonna make sure you have her number if she hadn't given it to you before.
Yeah, I was just about to ask for it.
And same her email and things like that. Her safe one to use over the camnet. Just as soon as you find out anything more, let me know. That will help me further our plans.
Of course. Have a good night. And Roland will turn and start walking away.
Okay. Claudia's gonna go back in the apartment. Would Nate and Kim have really done anything else?
Probably just some banter back and forth.
Okay. So Claudia's rubbing her neck, and looks at the 3 of you and just says, "Well, I know it's not decades of planning like we had for the war, but I think we have a good start. Right now, we just need to get some more information and see where that leads us. I don't think we can run into their building, guns blazing, yet."
And what's the plan we wait on? I'm assuming Roland is going to go return at some point, and do we have any other plans to gather intel, or is that our main ploy at the moment?
I am going to go speak with the Nosferatu.
What am I, raw meat?
Ike, I already asked you to head over to the complex if you could. You said you can get around without much notice.
Oh, yeah, I know, but you didn't include me in this roundup.
Slipped my mind. I'm sorry.
Speaking of which, what is the actual plan? Do you just want me to look in there? Do you want me to work for them? Should I maybe get blood bonded to them too?
If you can watch comings and going, try to keep counts of how many are coming and going. If you can overhear conversations, anything that is basic espionage. You did make it sound like you knew what you were doing.
Well, yeah, but I'm kind of used to, I seem to look a little nervous. More organized operations? This is a bit of a mess, so I'm really not sure how I fit in. I mean, I could try to kill off as many as you like. Do you want me to, like, bring back their scalps or something?
No, I don't need you bringing back... I don't need you killing anyone. I don't want any scalps. Keep this place clean, thank you. I just need some information. I don't know anything about the Setites. I've never had to deal with them because up till now we had a relatively peaceful agreement about their territories.
Okay, so anything I can find, I'll look for. And I'll try to keep myself quiet. But like I said, don't give Roland my number or tell him I'm going or where I'm going or when. I do not want him knowing where I am. I don't trust him. Not while he's blood bonded.
No, we're going to keep Roland separate in all of this. He's going to try and get me information as well, but besides that, no, our operations here are going to remain separate, and what I do with the rest of the Bruja or anyone else I bring into this will also remain separate from Roland.
Okay, just, I'm sure I don't have to tell you, but that blood bond, this works two ways. Everything he knows, they know, maybe. He's going to be inclined to give it up. So like I said, I'm just a little paranoid.
Understandable. There is definitely a chance that he will be driven to explain that someone is looking into his business. But this is the way we need to move forward right now. That he's basically our inside mole, and we need that.
Yeah, I agree.
All good.
Right, well, I'm gonna go ask a few questions to some friends.
Really quick before he heads out, what would you like me to do in this? Because I could easily go along and help Ike, or I can go with you to the sewers, or to the Nosferatu. What would you have me do for the next while?
Claudia thinks for a moment, kind of squinting her eyes, and says, actually, Nate, if you could go straight to the Nosferatu for me, I think I need to actually get over to the Chantry.
Is there someone in particular I should seek out?
Yes, hold on. She's gonna go over to her laptop, pull it up, and she's going to pull up some notes in a document and sort of, point at it for you. I think the best start will be Gerard Duraphine directly. He's the Nosferatu Primogen. If you go there, he knows who you are. You are my child, so he should be able to help you out directly.
And how much are we willing to tell the Nos, and what role? Just simply, are we trying to barter for some information, or?
I need information. You can ask him what he would like in return. If he ends up being stubborn about giving you a specific number or task, you can... She'll think for a moment. Try to see what he wants. You can give me a call if he doesn't give you anything specific. But trust me, cell phones work down there.
Sure, that sounds great. I will take care of that then.
Good. And she's gonna turn to Kim. Dr. Brown, is there anything else you needed?
No, I should get back to work.
Understandable. She looks at Ike and Kim and Nate. No? Are you just...
Oh, sorry. Yes. She turns
I was trying to grow roots and plant myself in your carpet, but it wasn't working. Ike will just kind of saunter out next to Dr. Kim.
As Ike is leaving, I believe you need sunlight for that.
Maybe I'm a mushroom, okay?
And yeah, Nate will then, once they're gone, nod to Claudia and head out.
Oh, God.
Fuck, found the squeaker!
That's going up for the evening?
So we'll give it to him during breaks.
Alright, we'll follow up with the four of you after we check in with Savani and Articus for a little while.
Sure.
I do want to try to sort out timing, sort of in-game timing. It was pretty early that night, and I believe Felix and Angel are actually the next night. So all of you do actually have personal lives a touch. We will come back and we will actually touch on hunger, because none of you have fed especially recently, and other little bits of that, and we'll finish that in game night. So let's check in with Angel and Felix. Angel had just busted down the door of the hotel room, motel, either way, that Sean, as he's claiming to go by, and Noelle, who he found out's real name is Sarah after listening in on them, have been hiding out in, and he wants some answers. Felix is behind Angel. I guess, I don't know if you actually went into the apartment yet or not.
No, but I'm very panically going through one of my pockets and then into a baggie, and pulling something out and putting it under my in my shoe.
Okay. Angel, you were beginning to make your moves. I don't know if you were starting to fight or what, but you definitely made it clear you were not happy to be there.
Correct. My intent was to be threatening and probably grab her.
Okay, yeah, I think she is actually closer to you. So, just sort of like a grapple.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be, I'm trying to say, yeah, Shard, did the music stop, or is it just me?
It's just you, but I was about to ask you if you want some more battle-y kind of music.
Yeah, let's get a little something more pumped up. I'll refresh roll 20.
Is the sound too loud for viewers? How's the level?
Sounds good about here.
Seems a bit loud, apparently.
That's from Articus.
So
No, Songsmith said it.
Oh, okay.
And Graham.
All right. We turned it to halfway down. Hopefully that's good.
I'm gonna try real quick to see if I can figure out how to get the BB to stop. 1 second.
Yeah, she accidentally disabled streamer mode. Or actually, we logged in and out of different Discord accounts, so I think that might have done it.
There we go. That should fix it. Let me know if you... Okay, alright, so back to the game. Angel wants to grapple Noelle. Let me get some
Yes.
sheets up.
So what's the roll? Oh, and
let's
Chard,
do-
this is not a soft tackle. I'm angry, and I'm roughing her up a little bit.
Okay, fair enough.
This is not a gentle tackle.
So there's actually going to be initiation, not even for Sarah, but for you and Sean, to see if he possibly sees it before you do anything.
And target number is 4, right?
Yes, for the initiation roll.
Wait, no. We don't do target number. Because we're just rolling the 1d10.
No, it's... yeah, but... Yep, you definitely beat Sean's 11. So he is essentially not gonna catch you fast enough to, try to get you out of the way. So what will end up happening is you're going to get your grapple roll, and then he's going to try to, land on you as well and get you off her.
Alright.
So, go ahead with your actual, we'll do strength and brawl because you said it's not just a grabber, it's to actually, fight.
I'm not trying to cause, like, physical damage. I'm not actually trying to physically injure her. I'm just
Sure, and
not being careful is really what it boils down to.
Sure, and to clarify for going on for everybody, in fact, if you ever get more successes in something than you kind of want, like if I want to punch the guy in the face and you get 10 successes and that would essentially be you kill him, you can say that, like, you control it. Like, it just means, of course, that's how well you're able to perform whatever action you wanted to. So if you get more than you want, you just tell me. I really only want to, like, rough her a little, and we'll go from there.
Versus 6? And so how does potence fit into this? Like, I just add 2 successes to the roll?
Did you spin blood?
I have not spent blood, no.
Then you just get 2 extra dice.
Okay.
Alright, 3 successes. Look at her chart real quick. So yeah, the potence will add to your
dice roll.
damage, yeah. And then Noelle will be able to soak 2. How much potence do you have?
I have 2 of potence.
So that would be a total of 5. She can soak 2. So, but you didn't want to rough her up, so do you say that you just want to get her at
She would also take half damage because it's bashing.
Yeah, it is bashing damage.
Yep. So I just want to know if I wanted to ask, so are you, like, looking for bruised, hurt, or injured? Because it'll easily be kind of around that realm. I think it would be hurt.
Honestly, I'm like... I am role-playing the short fuse. I am not putting that much thought into it, so that's kind of up to whatever you think happens.
Good point.
So long as I am not killing
frenzy
her.
right yet, because they haven't done anything in the scene. You're just mad.
Yeah,
so
I am mad out of the scene.
Let's put her at hurt. And now Sean is going to try to, like, grapple you. He's not thinking that he wants to hurt specifically. He's just trying to get you off. So I will roll for him.
And then do I roll something to oppose that?
This is his moment after you, because you got initiation.
Wow.
Okay, so he lands solidly on your back and, like, kind of pulls you off, but he's just in a panic mode. He, like, gets his arms all the way around your chest, pulls you off, and the both of you go sort of tumbling to the ground, but he gets at least, like, a strong leg around yours, trying to pin you down. Noelle is just going to jump up and move as far away from the bed as she can.
And that's when Felix will hobble back or hop in, like, getting something into his shoe, and they're like, oh, what the hell?
Suddenly, at where the door was, before Angel, bursted in, it appears to be a wall of flames that seem to, like, cover heavily outside the door. Like, you don't want to go anywhere near it. So I will need everybody to roll Rat Trek.
Alright, so, assuming this is her Ravnos ability and not some craziness that he can do, I have a hearing-based Auspex up. and I don't know exactly how it works, but Auspex can hear or see through illusions. Does that help me in any way?
Which aspects do you have?
I have hearing level 1 Auspex up.
Okay. 1 second.
With my Auspex rating being 2.
Which rule is the rush check? Is that courage?
Yes, red check is courage. Sorry, I was
Okay.
Versus 6.
I'm having trouble double checking some of the finer details about Auspex versus.
I couldn't find out exactly how it works. I've just found a couple of times that it works, and that's all the information I could find.
Mm-hmm. So we'll say because you're also super paranoid about it anyway, you will begin to suspect that the sound of the fire seems... something about it is, you know, tickling your Auspex that you're feeling pretty sure it's not real.
Alright. So is that still a rot track roll, like, at lower difficulty, or...?
Yeah, give me still rot track at 5, because even still the sight can, like, throw you off. Like, if it was on a TV, maybe not, but right in front of you. Alright, Felix got 3, so he is good.
Is his bell ringing?
What does the bell ring for? Is it, like, proper danger?
Quote-unquote danger. I guess it's whatever the spirit considers danger. I mean, them wrestling could theoretically be danger. It's a great time to be you right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, to answer you, I'm gonna say it's tinkling slightly, but to you, you're thinking there's a fight going on anyway, so you're not sure if it's the fire necessarily, or if it's more what's going on in the apartment, and that there's 2 vampires, you don't know their powers or what they're gonna do next. So you're in actual, like, a little danger, but it doesn't clarify. Now, for my darling angel. I need you... 1 sec. I need you to roll Frenzy at 10.
So what is Frenzy roll?
Self-control.
And I hate myself for asking this. Does that Frenzy roll 10 take into account my short temper?
Sorry, 1 second. What was the question again?
Does that 10 include my short fuse flaw?
Yes. I
Okay.
can't go over 10 anyway, so...
It would
But
be
it does,
at least...
but it does. No, I was
yeah.
gonna do 8, but since you have your 2, your flaw, I added 2,
Yeah.
so you got 10.
I mean, it seems at least vaguely reasonable that would reduce die. Like,
I mean, you got 2 botches.
yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, you got 1 botch. Oh wait, no, you got 1 success.
I got a success and 2 failures.
Alright, then roll at 8 for me.
Huh, alright.
Very good. Okay. For a moment, though, you just start snarling and, like, kind of losing control, but you really, like, try to get control of yourself in the moment. You're still sort of grappling with Sean on the floor. He's yelling almost unintelligibly, kind of seems towards Sarah to, like, do something, and that's where it is at the moment. What's up, Felix?
Can Felix do something?
Yes, Felix can.
Okay. Everyone, stop fighting! What the hell is even going on?
Did you happen to use...
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I was wondering if you were using something or just saying it.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify. So can you, for everybody, since rituals are a bit more obscure than a lot of other stuff, explain the ritual you just used?
Absolutely. Let me pull it up. So Felix has what you call impressive visage up. It enhances his sexual appeal and charm when interacting with individuals after casting. All he had to do with his spell was put something into his shoe, which I will not say because no one saw it. But he put a specific item into his shoe, and now he has 5 appearance. For every part of that, he might have like piercing eyes that can look into someone, or a clear voice that's a deep baritone. And because real life me has a deep, nice baritone voice, we're gonna go with that. I can't get my Roland on because, you know, French Canadian, but I'll try my best.
That's fine. So you make your, sort of announcement after you've pulled up your ritual, and suddenly everyone in the room stops what they're doing. So Angel, Sean, and Sarah all look suddenly to you, and particularly Angel and Sarah will be a bit flabbergasted at this sudden height in appearance going on. Sarah is going to completely drop her fire illusion, and Sean is going to try to slip out from Angel's distracted grip, sort of. He's just going to scoot back on his legs. He's not exactly looking at you the same as Sarah and Angel, but he is a bit stunned and is willing to listen to what you have to say next.
Okay, now that everyone is listening, the door is no longer on fire, and whatever the heck is going on, I would like to have a nice and civil conversation about what the hell just happened. And why it got even this aggressive in the first place.
Because these fuckers coming to my city claiming to be Toreador, trying to con me out of my fucking money!
Sean is going to real quick scramble and run over to where Sarah is and stand in front of her. Look, man, we didn't want any fucking money.
It's not what it fucking sounded like.
What are you talking about?
What the fuck were you trying to get from me?
He just looks, uncomfortable, and Sarah's gone back to shaking a little bit behind Sean. Look, some guy has Sarah's brother, and he said there's some paperwork in your... Well, actually, he told us your sire would know where some paperwork is that we need. She told us it's in your shop.
The fuck paperwork are you talking about?
He just looks at Sarah and, it's a deed for his place. I don't know why. We were just asked to get it.
A deed? Only fucking deed at that place is the deed to the goddamn shop, and that's my place.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what the trail we were following. Agnes said it was there. We checked your safe, it wasn't there, so we were just trying to figure out.
You fucked with her head?
No, I mean, I didn't do anything to her.
Is Agnes someone you know?
Agnes is my fucking sire. Goddamn sweet old lady, that's who she is, and they fucked with her head.
I didn't do anything. I just...
Cause you don't fucking lie to me. So you did something to keep her from telling me.
Could I detect the lie?
You can try.
I can definitely try.
I won't roll because I assume she's lying.
Yes, I'll use liar finding a liar.
So I was still talking as Sean, to be clear.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually really good at empathy.
I don't have a good voice for him, so it's just like...
Wits plus empathy?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm wishy-washy on checking for lies, whatever works better for you.
Either a liar can detect a liar, or you just feel them out. 3.
Okay. You definitely get the sense that when he was saying the bit about the deed, the stuttering in his voice, avoidance of his gaze, seems like that answer definitely didn't sound very clear. As far as it sounded when he said that he didn't do anything to her, feels half and half. Like, you know, he really means, like, he would never hurt an old lady. But, you know, he had to get the information somehow.
Alright. So, I'm just gonna be frank with you. 1, I don't like yelling. And 2, do you see that little shape in the back there, right there? With the little eyes?
He's going to look where you're pointing and, like, shake suddenly, like, yeah, the hell is that?
That is something I can curse you with for about 5 years. It likes to throw knives, bookshelves, make you fall out of windows, trip. Terrible, terrible things. So, and 5 years is being nice. Actually, I'm being very generous. So, when he's asking a question, I know he's a little riled up. It's making my non-beating heart beat a little faster. But I would like you to explain to us truthfully. And if he jumps on you, I'll make sure he gets crushed, okay?
Yeah, sure. At that moment, there will be the sound of, like, kind of police siren, as if, pulling into the hotel.
And that was quick.
So
Was that
Sean's
you
going to,
two?
like, look back at, Sarah, and the both of them will have a look on their face of, like, some sort of relief. Like, good, something's coming for us.
Is that you two?
What are you
Honestly,
talking about?
Ghost Buddy isn't going
Oh,
to,
wait.
care about the police.
Is it real?
It sounds shady to you.
Goodness,
It's a
it's
cute
not that.
fucking trick.
Sean really, like, just sighs, looks at Sarah again, kind of behind him, just give up on it.
Ah, right, illusions. Note to self, necklace doesn't work. Right.
What the fuck were you trying to get?
Let's go a little early to an AMA. We're gonna get back to essentially roundabout Roland, Nate, Kim, and Ike for the rest of that evening. See what they get up to. Y'all haven't really been gotten to feed in a little while, so we do need to take care of that. Let's start with Kim in particular, because hers are fun. Kim is going to leave. She's got her little duffel bag cooler.
Yeah, Ike was with me, and so if you wanted to say something, we can do that. But
Yep.
I was gonna say, didn't Ike ask? Didn't she want to ask him some questions after the talk, or is she just going now?
I just want to explain though, she's leaving. Very stressful few nights in a row. She's just tired. She knows she could go back to the morgue and suck down a cold, boring blood bag, but her beast is riling up a little bit and is really preferring the steak over the chopped liver.
hey, thanks for explaining my previous fly off the handle arrogance there. I like that retcon. That's very nice.
So internally, Kim is feeling a little needs some fresh hot juice.
Okay. Yep, keeping that in mind. Sorry, it wasn't an actual retcon. Just explaining her previous attitude from the last game. That's all. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So I was going to talk to Ike a little bit.
he's gonna be walking like towards the door. Oh, well, he'll actually look at everyone. All right. Well, if no one needs any unmentionable help at the moment, I guess I'll head off. Be careful, watch your back, Roland. And you don't know me, so he's gonna start walking.
I thought I already left.
Oh yeah, no, Roland is ahead. Maybe like. Just...
Sorry, no. She said come back to the four of you, and she said Roland. I thought, no, he's gonna wave to Nate and be like, say that.
Nate will just nod and let him leave.
Okay. Kim just kind of grabs her wheelie bag, her wheelie cooler of blood bags, and like heads out.
Actually, just before Kim leaves, Nate will stop her and just be like, actually, I feel really bad for making you drag all the way out here. Apparently there was confusion. I don't know, I feel obligated. Would it make things better if I bought some? I don't...
Sure, if you want some, absolutely.
It's out here, we may as well.
Sure. Even if you don't want any now, always handy to have some in the fridge, right?
Yeah,
Did you bring regular or werewolf?
Regular. Oh no, I didn't bring the werewolf blood out here. No. That shit stays at the hospital unless I get a specific ask for it.
Yeah, so how much... what sort of compensation do you look for exactly per bag?
Can be monetary, can be a favor, it doesn't matter.
Well, I feel like I already owe you something for dragging you into all of this, and...
To be fair, you didn't. That was Roland.
No, but I called you, and then a lot's happened, and I'll take 2 bags and owe you a really... I'll draw blood for you. If you need a sword, I have it. If you need a favor, or... I mean, you know my capabilities. If something comes up that you need, let me know.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Absolutely. She, opens the cooler and, takes out 2 bags and hands it to him.
He'll take it and just shake your hand appreciatively. Seriously, let me know if there's anything I can do, and keep in touch.
Sure. By the way, if you're going to eat it, I would actually, this sounds really gross, and kind of is, but throw it in the microwave, it makes it a little bit better.
How long should I leave it in for? And in the plastic, or...
That plastic is actually fine. Or you can put it in a mug, I really don't care, whichever. It's gross, but at least it's, the proper temperature.
I suppose that makes sense. No one likes eating a cold steak.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. And Nate will head back inside, and if Claudia is giving him weird looks carrying blood in, just stash it in the fridge and head back out.
She is buried in her laptop. She doesn't even look up when you come in.
Just don't mind me, just placing some blood and heading back out.
Okay. So specifically back with Kim, however, you are feeling the need to get some fresh hot juice.
Yeah, no kidding, Jesus Christ. Okay. I do need to talk with Ike on the way to the hospital.
That's fine.
Okay. So, she picks up her wheelie bag and goes down after Ike.
Ike looks back, kind of hearing you walking quickly towards him. Oh, hey Doc, what's up?
Hi. So I would like to apologize for being kind of presumptuous. All right, it's been a really long couple of days, and I don't quite know what's going on half the time.
Oh, no, that's okay. I understand, Doc, but, it's, not exactly like they give you, cam dogs any way to move up, do they?
No, us cam dogs are just puppies.
Yeah, that's kind of crappy. I get it. It's ironically enough, yeah, I really get it. You know, it sucks being seen as a child all the time.
That's a special kind of irony. Yeah.
And I didn't. I mean, it's not meant to be. Sorry, but like where I'm from, you survive by your sire's knowledge, or you die, and it's their fault. And it just, I don't. Apparently, you don't like hearing it, but like you need to be looked after better. Someone needs to. Who's on your side? You know, at the end of the day, someone's got to teach you, and knowledge is expensive in our world.
Yeah, I know it is. Don't know the extent of that, but I at least know the concept. But
Yeah.
All right. So to explain a little bit, or do you even care? I don't have to go explain if you don't care.
I mean, we can walk in the same direction. I have a couple friends I need to chat with, but nothing too pressing. It's
Sure.
early.
Well, I just need to head back to Mount Sinai, so that's on the way.
I don't know where that is, but I'll walk in that direction. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, the hospital you work at. Oh,
Yes.
I don't. I'm still kind of new to the city.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So my sire firmly believes in trying to find your own strength. Like, I can come and ask him things, but he really wants me to try to find out as much as I can on my own from whoever would tell me. Almost as like, I think anyway, this is as best a guess as I can tell. So it's like a test of ability to an extent. And so it makes me look like an idiot half the time, to be fair, because I am. So.
Well, I mean, you've got two options. Either you need to get used to being lectured for being young, because it shows, it really does. And I'm not trying to be offensive, but you know, you don't walk on to I don't know. You don't walk into a game and say, "Hey, I've never played this game before," and then get mad when people don't have patience for you. It's, you know, this is the big leagues, I guess. If anyone even says that anymore, I don't know. But anyway, no harm meant. But you're sorry. That's
No, I appreciate the advice. I have to.
It's shitty teaching, I think.
It probably is, but I'm
Because if you
so
can't.
I've been the head medical examiner at the morgue for a decade or more, and it's ingrained into my attitude at this point. Like, I need to cut it the fuck out. I understand that, but it's going to take some undoing.
Yeah, well, like I said, if he's not going to give you any chips to bargain with, you better come up with your own, because to be honest, I was just trying to extend an olive branch by telling you things I knew, but like, I'm being paid by Claudia and Nate to give them information. I charge money for answers to questions, and that's what you do. And they gave me a place to stay, so I owed them something. They took care of me, so I owed them something. I really, no offense, all I did was ask to tag along one night. I don't owe anything to you, and I'm okay helping.
No, that's fair. And I appreciate what you have done so far, actually. I do understand that.
But, and I did it because you seem really smart. You have a shitty sire, and that sucks. Maybe, find a bargaining chip you can actually use to get some info, or maybe call him out. He's a fucking asshole. What happens when the Jamissi does jump up on you and kills you in the middle of the night because you don't know what you're doing?
I guess I'll just die. Yeah.
Here, how about this? He's gonna kind of like look at your pack of supplies and stuff like that, and do you still carry a purse or any variety?
Yeah. It's like a big bag.
Do you have a mirror, like a pocket mirror or something like that? Anything reflective?
Yeah, I do. Hold on. And she holds out like the most basic of pocket mirrors type thing.
Here, and Ike's gonna pick it up and kind of like hold it out in front of the two of you. Here, look! Look!
What the-
The fact that you're not running right now is dangerous. He is putting you in danger. Ike's gonna like close it up and hand it back to you.
I hate to ask why, considering you said you don't say it, but why?
Oh no, this is for like a trial period, 14 days free. I'll give you some stuff. Maybe you'll owe me something later or help me out. But no, that's if you're like Camarilla, you see that shit is bad. That means you're in the company of someone who's not good at all. For the most part. I think I'm pretty okay. But
Okay. Alright.
I mean, I called attention to it, but that's why I ran off, is because Claudia figured this out. The second she saw that, I was like, well, I don't want to be around her, she may kill me.
Okay. Alright.
By the way, it's a weakness. Like you and Lily having your crazy talks. Not offensively, but, it's my weakness.
I prefer to call it reality deviant talks.
Okay. Duly noted, Doctor. Thank you. I didn't know the medical term.
I'm kidding. But, thank you, really.
Hey, if you ever have questions that need answering, I'm more than happy to help, but, either you or you seem smart, but you or your sire, you gotta come up with a bargaining chip, or, call him out. Because, when you end up on the final death because he didn't talk to you, who's gonna be hurt by that? You or him?
Yeah. That's the point. Okay.
Well,
you have a good one then, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm off to, I don't know, destroy the world or something. We'll see. It'll be fun.
Destroying the world really does sound not like fun to me, but you do you, bro.
If you ever need any help, just let me know.
Thank you.
He's just gonna take off down any random alleyway he sees.
God. Fuck. Okay.
Alright, so Ike has run off, and Kim continues her way back to Mount Sinai. She has actual work to do, so she will get herself into the morgue, still feeling that kind of hunger rumbling in her tummy, and she'll see Dr. Fargus, her sire, standing there. Sorry. They're actually just leaning against one of the counters, kind of arms folded, and sees her walk in, just sort of frowning. And where have you been all night?
Sorry, sir. I was meeting with some of the brew pop. I'm sorry. I can get back to work right now.
I must have lost this picture during one of the times I updated the website. But Dr. Fargus is a older, middle-aged man, dark, short, brown hair, and he just sort of very, always got a stiff back kind of look. So he follows Kim as she moves toward getting started with her work, arms still folded. Why were you speaking with the brew? What are you up to?
Nate is my friend. I was talking to him.
About what? Why was it so important that you weren't at work?
I'm sorry, sir. I'll get back to work right now.
Yes, you said that, but you haven't answered my question.
Yes, sir. He wanted to buy some blood for me, and he wanted to talk about some things that had been happening recently, as far as things that had affected that club that I went to that I told you about before.
If he wanted blood, he could have come here like anybody else, or sent someone, or called for it. Why did you have to go and deliver it to him like a pizza boy?
Because that wasn't the objective he wanted to talk to me about. what had happened with some of the individuals that were over at the club.
You do recall that you have a job here, right? You can't just leave
Yes,
for
sir.
social calls.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Fine, get to work, and I expect double time. Get more done tonight or else.
Absolutely, Doctor.
He's going to slightly storm out of the morgue. It's like kind of the doors that won't slam, but he's going to just kind of like throw it back.
Oh, fucking hell. God. Fucking. And she kind of like opens the nearest one that she's supposed to look at, looks briefly over the thing, takes the big, like, giant pruning shears and like cuts the under the sternum like with rather more vigor than she normally does.
Alright. Let's check with Roland heading home.
Heading home or at home?
I mean, yeah, you're home if that's exactly where you were going.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
So
What day of the week is it?
This should be Thursday, because I think it's just the day after you had the rave. So you arrive in your basement apartment underneath your club, the Rebel's Kiss, and you see O'Connell sitting on the bed that you and Clem share, just talking quietly with Clementine.
As I walk up, do I hear anything of like what they might be talking about?
Clementine is just ranting about her fencing practice, and O'Connell sounds like she's just listening along. You can even tell on her face, like someone who doesn't know anything about sports is listening to someone talk about their favorite team. She's just like, yeah, because Clementine's throwing out a whole bunch of specific terms that Nate has taught her.
Okay. And what are you two up to?
O'Connell looks up.
Clementine was just telling me about her fencing practice. It sounds like it's going good.
Yes, I figured if she was going to be my child, she had better learn to defend herself.
Makes sense, especially,
She's just gonna trail off.
Clementine, why don't you show me some of this stuff you can do? Just go over there and start practicing. I'd like to watch.
So Clementine will get up really excited. She'll grab her sword, which I think we named. Was it Willow?
No, that's Nate's sword.
Okay. What was Clementine's? I don't remember.
I don't know if we ever named it.
Okay, we'll do that later then. So she just starts doing her stances. She builds up, she's a little theatrical, so she starts going a little slow, but then she starts actually making like slashes through the air, and O'Connell is actually watching her, but kind of glances a bit awkwardly up at you.
Roland kind of does the like so things I don't know how this works.
Yeah, so,
And she's gonna like glance at the bed, like where like you could sit next to her.
I'll gladly sit next to her.
So, what do you want to know? What do you know? What don't you know?
I know nothing. This wasn't exactly something my sire thought prudent to inform me of blood bonding and what that means. I just got out of a, let's call it, meeting where everyone kind of lost their shit because I said I found someone to blood bond me.
Yeah, it's not something it's not something that's taken lightly. Look, there isn't a good human comparison. Some people say it's kind of like being in love, because it's just this bond between two people that is not easily broken. but there's a little more to it than that. I mean, the person you're bound to can actually sort of not control you, but be more persuasive.
I mean, that was kind of the idea. You you care about Clementine almost as much as I do, and you wouldn't let me do anything to hurt her, so that's all I care about.
O'Connell looks, again, nervous like she did the first time you even brought any of this up, just kind of, like, squeezing her skinny little arms.
Yeah, no, I mean, I care about Clementine, so I don't... That wouldn't have worked out well. I don't think it's... I don't even think I've ever heard of anything like that happening.
So, I feel... through this blood bond, I'm going to feel towards you, but will you feel towards me?
Not the same unless I did it back, but I can't.
I understand. I'm not asking you. I'm just wondering.
She shakes her head.
No, it's fine. It's just I already have one.
Oh, I did not know.
It's alright. I mean, I feel like at this point, there's not much I worry too much about telling you.
I just need... so with this blood bond, you'll have a certain power over me, correct?
Kind of. I'm not looking to assert it, to be honest.
I want you to. I want you to use it to make sure this all goes smoothly. I need this man to believe I'm still blood bonded to him, but I need to make sure I don't give away anything that's of importance. Is there some way you can control me to not tell the secrets that I have?
I think I haven't actually done this before. I mean, in this direction. But yeah, I think so.
Well, perfect. Just when I don't know. I don't know how this works. Do you just say the words and I just obey?
Like think of like if you were in a relationship and your wife said, "Take out the trash or I'll kill you," you know, like you're gonna listen to her over your buddy who's like, "No, to come out and watch the game with me," I guess.
So that would well, then I need you to do your wifely duties and tell me to behave. all right. But you know what I'm saying. Just make sure this man doesn't get more control over me than you do.
Yeah, I got it, alright. Look, if you want, going off of that, you should probably do it again tonight.
So, out of character, I'm able to feed, or like to do the blood bondage every
night,
24
right?
hours?
No, I think it's the same night. Yeah, okay, never mind. All right, so
Yeah, it's the
scratch
same
that
night.
line. I was trying to keep track of the days, so she's gonna say instead.
Make sure you do it tomorrow then.
As far as this very odd tally of whose blood I drink and when, you're both 1 and 1. I'm assuming the next time I see him, he's going to make me drink his blood.
More than likely.
So I think I need to make sure I stay away from him and closer to you until I can drink your blood again.
Yeah, if there's no reason you need to see him within the next 48 hours, we should finish it up.
Yes, I think I, as long as you're okay with it, I think I might stay with you for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, we already made this deal or whatever.
Have you have you told Benedict yet?
No, he hasn't been back yet.
Is he the one you're blood bonded to?
No, it's Merrick. You remember him, right? He's my sire.
The shy man from the sewer.
He's almost deaf. Of course he's a little shy. What's he supposed to do? Do you know sign language?
That's a good question. Would Roland know sign language?
I don't know. You never told me.
No, we don't need him to know. No, I
just being her sarcastic self.
Roland kind of just looks at her kind of sideways and awkwardly and gives her a big smile. I thank you again for this, O'Connell.
Yeah, whatever. You can make it up to me later or something.
Is there any...
if you guys, like, kind of go quiet, she's going to actually turn her attention and actually watch Clementine for a little while. Her previous kind of tense body language is gonna relax a little bit, and she'll give a slight, like, just weird, wistful kind of smile to you and be like,
It's easy to forget she's actually one of us.
To be honest, the only reason why I'm in this mess is so she would be cared for if anything was to happen to me with, my head forward attempt at rushing into everything.
Yeah. I don't think you ever really told me how you picked her up.
How far away is Clementine?
you have a large basement because it's the exact same size as the first floor of the club, so she's pretty far away, and she's pretty focused.
I went into a house one night, and I needed the house, and I needed to try. Long story short, I was killing her family, and I couldn't bear to kill her.
What? Why? What are you talking about?
Which part are you asking why?
What? I don't... You went and just killed the family because you needed the house? What did you need the house for so bad? You were in Philadelphia. You could find any fucking building down the road that's empty.
Down, quiet.
Sorry.
Clementine does kind of look over and just, like, pauses and... Is everything alright?
I'll smile and just give her... Yes, Clementine, everything is fine.
She's going to wait a moment watching you two, and O'Connell's going to also be like,
That's fine.
So as Clementine goes back to practicing in front of you guys, O'Connell's going to lean in closer and keep her volume down a bit.
I don't understand anything you just said.
You had your sire, and you had Benedict. You had level-headed men who taught you the civilized way of being one of us. I had my sire who raised me in the woods, practically like a wolf. And then he lets me free in the city, and then I live like the way he taught me to, which is, as I understand, not the way you most of us would choose me to live, but they were people. They were less than us. They're expendable. They just are fucking sheep that just walk around aimlessly doing bullshit. And I had to get rid of them for my own purpose, for me to survive. And she was there in the hallway screaming, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill her.
Okada's just gonna be shaking her head and kind of darkly humor laughing, like,
Jesus Christ, Roland.
At that time, you actually hear your elevator that heads from the first floor down to the basement moving, and the doors open, and Benedict comes shuffling into your apartment with his hands in his pocket, looking as smug and exhausted as he often does.
Does Sunshine, like, like when you're younger and you're sitting next to like someone that you have a crush on, and then like your parents walk in, you like kind of like stand up or like move away? Does that happen?
She does, like, 'cause she did get, like, she was leaning in pretty close to you. She just, like, scuffles off, like, a couple inches, but otherwise still looks kind of, chill.
Hey, Benedict, everything go alright?
So he, walks in a wider circle to move around from Clementine, who pauses for a second to wave and smile at Benedict.
Yeah, everything seems to be going fine. Roland, how are you?
Great.
We'll take a break here, and we will go see what Nate is up to after he left the apartment.
The night's already gone on, and who knows how long he will need to spend with the Nosferatu, so he's gonna kind of make his way as quickly as possible down to Gerard?
Gerard.
Gerard, I had it right.
Is
okay.
in the Cloisters Museum, which I don't have the map up. One second. It doesn't really matter, but it's not too far. You're all still in Manhattan, not too far away, easy to get there.
Awesome. So yeah, that's just, he's gonna beeline straight there.
Alright, and I don't believe Nate has ever been down to the Cloisters himself before, so Claudia would have given you the detailed explanation of how to, once you get to the museum area, how to like skirt through. There's kind of like woods around it, not thick woods, but it's like designed to look like a bit of a small wooden area with lots of trees, shrubbery, that sort of thing. So she's going to explain how to go through that area, and there's sort of like a service entrance that you go through, and it'll be typical for a lot of Nosferatu warrens. Very long, winding trip with kind of confusing hallways, so you'll maybe even have like a written explanation of how to get down there.
Alright, so I've taken 2 lefts. Okay, now I would take a right, go down another 10 paces, and there's... Okay, take this, so something like that, that's very...
Yep. It's gonna be like harder to find by accident, and even like very like special instructions that just someone like couldn't really accidentally come upon. Sort of a labyrinth where it looks like there's a wall but there isn't. So
if you had just kept straight.
Pretty much. So as you make it through, you walk into the antechamber, which is the sort of kept open access part of the warrens that people are welcome to come down into when they need access to meet with the Nosferatu, as most of them stay there the majority of the time. As you enter, it is cavernous, carved out of the actual stone underground. You can see tons of little like holes and paths and hallways that seem to like lead off into darkness. But within the antechamber itself, you see a handful of Nosferatu just skulking around with whatever their own business is.
So Nate enters and kind of awkwardly readjusts his vest and looks around, and if no one comes up immediately and kind of greets him, he's just going to approach the nearest Nosferatu.
Alright, so as you're just sort of trying to get your bearings in the room, and the Nosferatu, kind of ignore you, maybe glance, but no one, walks up to you directly. The one you walk up to seems, you can't tell male or female, but body's a little skinnier, and, just wearing kind of more of a weird shift shirt and pants. And she looked like she was actually sorting through a box of some material that's off on the side.
So Nate will hold out his hand and, excuse me, I'm here looking for Gerard. I'm here to speak for Claudia, the, Bruja Primogen.
The Nosferatu is going to turn around suddenly, and when you actually get a good look at her, the fascinating thing about her is that it looks like her face was split with a cleaver and then sort of healed back. So there is a thick, deep kind of scar that runs down the whole front of her face. Both of her eyes are actually this weird mix of very milky white, but then kind of red, and her hair is really frayed and split and just a little wild, and she just catches sight of you.
From what'd you say?
So Nate will bite back his innate compulsion to kind of squish that back together. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for intruding. I'm Nate Ward, and I'm looking for Gerard.
Yeah, what do you want with him?
Hi, I'm speaking on behalf of Claudia, the Primogen of the Bruja. She would like me to make a request of him.
Yeah, all right.
So she sort of gathers herself up. She looks weirdly suspicious at you and trundles off down one of the hallways. As you stand around for a little while, it's nice and murky, and gross dripping sounds seem to come from everywhere. She finally returns out of the hallway, sort of dropping out of it like a rat scurrying through a maze. And right behind her comes Gerard, as you can assume. He's tall, fairly built. He's not wearing a shirt, and so you can actually see he's actually fairly muscular. He's just got loose trousers on with suspenders hanging off the sides, and he's got a really smaller but rough face, thick jawline, and short pointed ears. He's got a big kind of dumb smile on his face, and he spots you immediately. Kind of obvious that you're the one that wanted to speak with him amongst all the other Nosferatu. So the young woman sort of just scuttles off, and he walks up to you with hands in pockets, smiling. Jim and I told me someone wanted me to talk to you.
Jim and that must. Okay, yes. I'm Nate Ward, and he'll hold out his hand again.
So Gerard is going to reach out his hand, very much like all the other Nosferatu's, kind of longer fingers, cracked and pointed claw nails almost, and he shakes your arm very roughly and heavily. You can feel the strength in his arm.
Nate will awkwardly smile. I assume that they've told you exactly why I'm here, but I'm here on behalf of Claudia, the Bruja Primogen.
Yes, Claudia. I like Claudia. So, come with me, and he'll lead you to a bit of an alcove that's very looks almost like half a thrift store, just with a bunch of random furniture piled around. There's a desk, a few filing cabinets. He'll sit himself on one of the desks that's in there and point vaguely at a couple different chairs that are around for you to just take one and sit.
Nate will absently just choose one at random and sit in it. And so we have recently had
He's gonna
some.
put a hand up to stop you. You said you were Claudia's child. I don't think I think I've heard that she had one, but I don't think I've ever spoken with with her much about you. Tell me about yourself.
Yes, I am Claudia's child. She embraced me during the war, and I've been with her ever since. Um, really, everything before that is a little bit personal.
He's going to swing up one of his legs, so, like, his ankles, you know, right across his other leg, and he's going to start, like, picking at his toes. That's fine, I completely understand. You have your own life. But, yes, tell me what you're here for.
So recently we've had an unfortunate encounter with the Sedites of Brooklyn, right? It was Brooklyn?
The Bronx.
Bronx, sorry. The Sedites of the Bronx. And she sent me down here to make a request, an offer that if you had any information that could possibly assist us, she would be willing to hear your price.
He puts his head down, kind of eyes closed, still just like kind of picking at his long toes. That is expensive information.
And Claudia's good on her word. I'm very eager to...
I don't doubt that.
Good. What exactly... What price exactly are you looking for something like this?
He's going to scoot more against the desk, lean against the wall, both of his feet up on the desk, a little bit man spread and hand on his knee, just sort of stare off thinking. That is very expensive information. Once it gets out to one person, who else is going to necessarily come to us first?
Hopefully this will be all tied and shut case before anyone else needs to be coming for information. There should hopefully... I guess that might not be exactly in your best interest now, would it? But I doubt the Sedites are going to be aware enough to be making a pitch, if that's what you're getting at.
Alright, well, I'm still listening. The thing I need to know is, what more kind of information are you specifically looking for? How... just asking that is pretty vague.
So I'm going to assume you've heard of the individual known as Dominic Ward. Of course, I'm not expecting you to answer without having paid your price, yes.
That's fine, I know of Dominic Ward. If anyone knows any Setite, they know Dominic Ward.
He's had an unfortunate encounter with one of our clan, and this matter has fallen to Claudia as the Primogen and the rest of the Bruja in order to see to its conclusion. And it revolves around Dominic and his enterprise as a drug dealer, in addition to specifically him as a Sedite, his standing in essentially anything that revolves around him.
What exactly is the problem? What are the Setite doing?
They fucked with one of ours and are looking to spread their influence into our territory.
Camarilla, you mean? Or Bruja?
Yes, Camarillan territory.
Fair enough. So you need information after they've fucked with your kind, and what... That's still quite vague. If I just start giving out pieces here and there, what am I supposed to do? How do I calculate how much I need back? When do I stop?
Just specifically to who he is within the Sedites, what position he holds, who is, if his sire is relevant, I mean, I guess anything such as that, what sort of resources he controls. I mean, he obviously controls numerous individuals and cells all throughout the Bronx, but who his allies would be, I guess, would be a great starting point. obviously we're looking at settling this our way. So anything pertinent to such an operation would be, and he's obviously needs to be made an example of.
All right. Do you have a piece of paper or something? Don't
If
worry,
I need to
have
take-
plenty. So he's gonna open one of the drawers in the desk, take out a really like ratty, kind of wet-looking notebook, and otherwise very nice fountain pen, and he's going to like lean back against the wall, and he's going to scribble for a little bit, and rip the paper, fold it up, and hand it to you. Now you can look if you want, but I think she might be mad if you do.
Nate sits there for a moment, pondering, a slight smile on his lips, takes it, puts it in his pocket. This
That is my
the
price.
That's
Now, for the information, and he'll lean back again and start scribbling, but he'll be writing a whole lot more on that piece of paper about Dominic Ward. After a little while, he'll rip it out and hand it back to you. I want at least half is what on my paper before anything else on this.
so. This is the goodwill, or the goodwill piece, but there's more to come.
There's a bit more on Dominic and plenty more on the Setites. But this should get you going.
He'll take the piece of paper and slip it into the pocket with the... as he takes this piece of paper, he's like, now I'm assuming Claudia won't have any issue with me reading this one.
No, you should be fine with this one. I would just give my clearance that she might not like you reading the other.
You keep making it so tempting as he slips it into the pocket with the first piece of paper. Again, sir, I appreciate you hearing our cause and agreeing to do business with us, and I can assure you that Claudia will make your payment. What if
I
she?
trust she will.
I again appreciate your time, and I suppose you'll be hearing from us shortly.
Yes! And he's gonna jump off the table, which, like, even on the stone floor, makes a bit of a kind of almost, not a reverb, but like it's very loud with his height and weight. And he's going to sort of smack you on the shoulder. It was good to meet you, Nate.
Pleasure to meet you as well. It's unfortunately I've met not as many of our kind as I would like, and this has been a pleasure.
He's gonna like throw up his hands, very jovial. He's like, well, come around anytime you want. It's always a party around here. And he's going to start walking out of the little alcove. He's gonna snap in the direction where Gemini was kind of skulking nearby, and she's gonna run off with him.
Like, he's just kind of wandering off.
He's
Not-
going back, actually, to kind of the hallway you saw him come out of.
Okay. With that, Nate will just simply stroll his way out of there, not walking too hurriedly, out of the, I forget the words you used specifically, not Warren, but
Ward.
Cloister. Ward.
Well, it's the antechamber in the Warrens.
And make his way back to Mama Claudia. Sorry, you would not say Mama Claudia. As I decide if I read that paper.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we do still need to check in with Ike for the rest of that evening, and Ike is demanding that I go back to Angel and Felix before I do him. Yeah. Anyway, so, we will get back to the motel room, where some fun craziness is going on. Let's get a better song going. Yeah. So, Angel, if you can real quick remind me your last question to them?
Something along the lines of, what the fuck were you looking for?
I think maybe Felix posed the last question.
Okay, I know in general it was still just sort of like, what are you guys doing? Did Felix ask anything else?
I think he basically called out on their bullshittery. No. Last thing was the police things. Woo woo. That
Yeah, I called them out on it, and then basically said, just fucking tell me what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's right. Alright, so the two of them look very nervous, and you see Sean's eyes glance at the door.
I promise, bro, you can't fucking outrun me. And look, 5 years, that's not that long. I'm immortal. So I can handle a little bit of a curse.
Sean is going to sigh, and you see his hand like slip around Sarah's wrist and just like kind of hold it gently and be like, look, we were told by this guy to go ask your sire Agnes about some paperwork related to this company in town called Infotech Labs. I really don't know what the paperwork's about. All I know is that your sire had it, and then she told us that it was hidden in your business somewhere. We figured it would be that the vault, the lock you had, but it wasn't in there, so we left and trying to figure out what we could do from there.
Okay, one, does the name Infotech mean anything to Angel?
You would probably vaguely know of it in town, because it is a company that does environmental stuff. You probably would have heard of it. It's a very big building and a pretty building, but otherwise you'd know probably nothing else. I don't think Angel would think anything about it.
Okay, so I have not made that connection.
No.
Two, who the fuck is this guy?
Dude, is that really relevant? We already answered your other questions. You don't know.
Yes, it's fucking relevant. Someone sending shit after me and my side. It's fucking relevant.
I don't even know the fucking guy. All I know is his name's... And he looks really, again, like he doesn't want to talk.
So you do know something. What's his fucking name? Look,
Well,
if you fucking talk, I'm much less likely to fucking stab your asses if I get some actual information out of this shit.
2 seconds. So Sean is just going to like squint kind of in a glaring almost way, and he's just going to bark out the word move while looking at Angel. He's using dominate command, and since he got 2 successes, you will feel compelled to move far off to the side of the apartment. Sean at the same time is grabbing tight of Sarah's wrist and is going to run out as fast as possible.
now out through the hallway to the hall.
Yeah, like to
Because I'm totes in the way. That's where I am.
Get him.
So that is a turn. We can do initiation if you want for you to block him, and he's going to try to shove you out of the way.
Oh no, I think he might not want to.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
going
that's-
to do 40 watts of Tremere.
Wait, what was that? 40
40 watts of Tremere. He can welcome to touch me if he wants to.
Sure, he doesn't
But
know he's
as-
panicked.
As the lightning arcs everywhere and the static raises in the room, I will see if he really wants to touch me. So,
He's already making his move, and I don't think we need initiation. You're gonna, like, see him diving, like, because that's his move. So you're, the start of the next turn, you're seeing this, so you can go ahead and do that.
yes. So I'm going to charge it up, and the actual electricity, you'll see it sparking, arcing between my body. I'm just holding my hands out, like, in between the passageway, and kind of, with a shrug, looking at him like, really?
Is this a control field, or is this going crazy? Like, is Angel in trouble?
No. It's still controlled. Like that's like 4th or 5th rank, where
Okay.
it's like everyone's in danger except the Tremere.
That's fine, just wanted to make sure. Okay, so you've made like this crazy arced wall of lightning just going at that.
It's
completely
arcing
path.
into himself. It's not going to be jumping around or
Mhm.
anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sean is going to like skid to a stop and hold and like again like push like Sarah back because she was behind him holding her. He was holding her arm, so he's gonna like shove her back and like just skid to a stop in time, looking like shocked at you.
Out of curiosity, how long does this last?
Oh, on my character?
No. The dominate on me.
I have no clue.
He asked Spira.
Yeah. It's a little vague with commands, but he just said move and not stay. So we'll say it's a turn because his goal was just to get out of there.
All right. Then I think I'm going to. I think I would actually even spend the blood point to do so, to use celerity and move unnaturally fast between him and the door just for, like, show.
Fair enough.
They're going to start looking at that window more and more, so... 3 stars, broken leg.
In my head, I didn't really explain it, but it was going to be it's a small motel room, so it's going to be 2 windows and a door, same wall.
Oh, it's one of those tiny ones.
Yeah, no, that's why Angels quit before about the 4 seasons, really downgrading was a good one because they're in just a small little like shady kind of hotel motel place.
Like a Motel 5.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Alright, so you have moved very quick in like some kind of blink of an eye movement, like you even looked like just faded as you moved. You stand beside Felix, basically, also just kind of like, no. And Sean is, if he could sweat, he would be, is the look on his face.
I mean, he could spend the blood point on it.
He just groans. Fine. Alright, look, the guy told me his name was Jeremy. I really don't know fucking anything about him. That's it. He took Sarah's brother and he's been blackmailing us with him to try and get this information. That's it.
So what about the other fucking cities you've been wandering around?
What? Dude, we're kindred with no money. Like, we gotta figure out something.
Alright, so this is something new. This ain't, like he ain't been controlling you for a while.
No, I think he knew me and Sarah's minor reputation for being able to get in and out of places and get information, but we weren't doing this on our own, so... Yeah, like, look, we fucked up.
Was your brother usually part of this process?
What?
Was your brother usually part of this, or her brother usually part of this process?
Yeah.
So, who are you affiliated with?
Nobody. What do you mean?
Just by yourself?
Yeah, it's just been me, Sarah, and her brother. It's, our sires didn't really give a shit about us, so we just did what we could.
What's her brother like?
What does that matter?
Matters to the one that's arcing electricity.
So Sarah had been kind of shoved out of the way by Sean. She's going to, a bit more mousily, walk up behind him. She's going to, like, put her hand on Sean's shoulder and just sort of say quietly, "My brother's far better at any of this than the 2 of us are. We're basically backup. Our plans don't seem to go as well without him."
So how long ago did this happen? The blackmailing, the disputes.
It's been a couple weeks. We had to trail information. We found out where Agnes lived. We went and spoke with her, got the information, and now we were just trying to find the papers and get out of there.
Alright, so here's how this is gonna fucking work. And I'm gonna look over at Felix and say, if you agree, we're gonna find your fucking brother, because, you know, that's just not okay. We're gonna release him, and you're gonna get the fuck out of this city and never come back. That's my plan right now.
So the two of them look again to each other. You can kind of tell at this point they've got this sort of like, they've been together for a long time. They've got a bit of a bond that like they can just sort of get each other's body language. And Sean sighs, looking back at you. Are you saying you're gonna help us?
Alright, just because you fucking pissed me off doesn't mean that your brother being fucking imprisoned by somebody is okay. That's not fucking okay. And anybody who's gonna do that to my fucking Camarilla and send people, I need to know who the fuck this fucker is. And I'm not gonna leave someone imprisoned while I go fuck his shit up. So might as well, you know, knock two birds out with one stone or whatever.
Think the troops.
And then you're gonna get the fuck out of my city and never come back.
I was rolling their perception, alertness, or empathy to test, like, you know, feeling out if you're being really honest about that, or if they're about to get stabbed. And
Yeah.
but in
So
this whole sense of.
So my the saving their brother, that is the protector in me, like not being okay with him being captured, regardless of the situation, unless he's like a straight up Sabbat, which Angel doesn't think is the case. I'm basically completely straightforward with this. I want everything they know. I want to find this Jeremy motherfucker. I want to fuck his shit up, and I want them never to come back.
Alright, so Sean's going to sigh and start to say, well, I mean, if you're gonna actually help us with all this, the only other thing I know about the guy is that, and Sarah is going to actually, like, kind of very quickly try to, like, cover his mouth with her hand. Cover his mouth with her hand.
Look, I'm not looking at her. You fucking telling me everything you know means you get your fucking brother quicker.
So Sean nods, like, grips her hand, like, pretty tightly, and pulls it down, like, whispers to her just a moment, like, and looks back at you. I don't know for sure, but I have some evidence that I think the guy's a fucking loopy.
Well, why am I not fucking surprised?
Oh, a Lupin. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what they're even after. But like I said, they didn't give us any information, just what we need to do and how we get her brother back.
Oh. I'm even surprised that you had a discussion with a Lupin without being shredded.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this guy. All we wanted to do was get that paperwork so we could get her brother and get the hell out of the city again.
Alright, so how are you supposed to recognize this paperwork that you're supposed to fucking find?
All we knew that it was gonna have information about Endotech Labs, like it should say it on there, and we tried your safe while you were outside. We even like tried to scramble through your desk real quick before you got back. Nothing. I figured it would be in your office directly. I have no idea where to look other than that, and I knew we couldn't just keep coming back night after night
and my sire told you that I had it.
Yes.
Oh. Ah. Hmm. I believe we'll need to reconvene on this topic. Then. Are you okay with trusting us? And he's all static. He is, and he just pokes the wall with it, and he just. Oh no! He finds an outlet. He pokes the outlet.
Sean just shakes his head and goes, "Look, I mean, any other situation we'd probably run, but we can't leave the city without getting Ash back."
All right.
Is there a way to contact you, bud? Please don't say phone.
I mean, we know where they're staying.
Yeah, look, we were gonna be here for a few nights anyway. We've only been moving to keep our trail light, but whatever at this point.
The door's missing.
Yeah, I'm sure when I go and tell someone that someone broke into my room, they'll find me another.
Right. This hotel, huh? Yeah. At least we didn't stab each other.
I think I would like not completely seriously, but I would still like glare at Felix just a little bit, like half jokingly.
Well, I guess that might convene our conversation unless you have more information that could help us on this said search. I don't like the idea of a loop in bribing or escorting or whatever the word would be any kindred, honestly.
We don't know anything more about the guy. I'm being honest here. If we did, we've been trying to, but all we got was the first name that's not pulling up anything when you Google Jeremy Werewolf.
What's your brothers?
Right. How did he first contact you? Like where'd you meet? Where have you interacted with this guy?
So, we'll go over to Ike real quick, and then I will answer all those after. Alright, so Ike was walking with Kim for a little while towards Mount Sinai, but then went streaking off down an alleyway. What is Ike up to? He's also a little bit peckish, but doesn't need to feed. Up to you either way.
I fed yesterday. I'm only missing 1 point.
What was that?
I said I fed yesterday. I'm only missing 1 point.
Oh, okay. Alright, never mind. Sorry to keep track of that time.
But do I see anyone? Well, I'm gonna head towards the local overpass, large overpass area where there's a whole lot of homeless people hanging out, and check it out and go maybe ask a few questions about the information that Claudia was looking for. Other than that, maybe keep an eye out for anyone around the alleyways. I guess try to maybe sneak someone in.
Right, so you wanted to get in contact with your homeless network, a ton of humans you've met and made a deal with, saying if you just keep an eye out wherever you normally hang out, these particular streets and everything, if I come back and ask for information, I will, pay you well for it. So once you've gone around the city asking specifically about, I believe it was anything that's happened around Invotech Labs, which Claudia asked you to find out about. And you also wanted to ask if there were any seemingly strange people or groups coming and going through the sewers. So you can give sort of the roundabout of the information you got.
Yeah, so I found out that there were a few people around Invotech, 4 of them. 3 males, maybe the 3rd female, who the hell knows, just long hair. Together, duffel bags. They ran faster than they should, and they were a lot more agile than any human should be. They set some stuff up, left, and then fucking boom. So there was graffiti that Claudia had talked about that said release them and give them back, and there was some extra graffiti that they told me about. As well as I asked about people going in and out of sewers, and everyone's like, no, what the hell are you talking about? Although one guy I did my contact knew one guy who said that someone just took one hand and was just like, fuck it, and lifted up a manhole, which are incredibly heavy. And I was just down into the sewer, but he was skinny, bald, and looked like he was pissed off at something. So, yeah, other than that, like I said, I do want to keep an eye out for someone to top up on. Maybe someone in the homeless park there that doesn't look too diseased.
Sure.
Actually, yeah.
Which park? Just any like small.
No, like someone around the underpass, maybe a little further away from the light that kind of radiates out from a few fires that like eagerly avoids.
So as Ike wanders down under the underpass and sees, the fires and the trash cans and homeless people gathered here and there, often in small groups, you do see one person far off and away, sort of going through some garbage that had washed up near the kind of shoreline from the underpass.
Ike sighs to himself. Blood's blood, I guess. And kind of walks up and pokes him on the shoulder.
So the old guy jumps up quickly, very surprised. He's got a long, scraggly, white and gray beard, mostly balding, but a few strands still sort of left. Wearing, 3 coats and just a whole bunch of other stuff. He's got, messed up gloves on, and he looks like he was just trying to find bits of tin cans. He's got a few gathered up by his feet. Who what do you want? What do you want? These are my cans.
Hey, no, it's okay. That's okay, mister. You can keep your cans. I don't need them. Hi, I'm Ike. And he holds his hand out.
He's going to look very suspicious. You have, I think, friendly face.
Enchanting voice.
Yes, enchanting voice. All right, but he's going to look suspicious, but he'll slowly hold out a hand towards you and let you shake.
Cool. I actually need a favor from you, real quick, if you don't mind.
What do you want? What do you want?
Oh, it's nothing big, and he's gonna pull $10 out of his pocket and just give it to the guy.
He's gonna quickly grab it and shove it in one of his pockets.
You look him dead in the eyes. Sit. Dominic.
Okay,
Unless you'll
we're
get
gonna
it.
go manipulation intimidation for command.
You could always botch.
Ike sits down and gets fed
Actually-
on by.
What?
That was a joke. I was saying Ike gets.
Difficulty is actually only 3, but you still have to roll it.
What is it again? Sorry.
Manipulation and intimidation.
Three. What?
Yep, plenty enough. So, the old man immediately sort of sits down and stares up at you with a little bit of terror in his eyes.
It's okay, buddy. And kiss. Well, a kiss.
Good choice of words. So, I imagine Ike, sort of bends down and feeds off whatever looks to be the cleanest part he can get a hold of.
Yeah.
And how many points are you taking?
I'm only missing one, so just one.
Alright, so you take 1 point. Afterwards, though, the guy seems to just slump and fall over where he was sitting.
Is he okay? Is he dead?
He's alive, but he wasn't, in the best condition, and he's older, so even 1 point made him just feel a little bit woozy, and he just decided to go over. The taste was not the best, but it did the job for you.
Alright, yeah. Ike's gonna head back in and give the first person he sees, the first other homeless person that he sees that he's either talked to before or maybe recognizes slightly, $5, and tell them that he passed out and tell them to maybe look after him and give him a bit of food for him.
Alright, that sounds good. And?
No, different scene. If you want to keep going here, or...
What is like doing next? Is that the end of the night for him? Is he gonna go back to Claudia or no?
Ike is gonna text Claudia, hey, I've got some information, but it costs me money. Do you mind covering my expenses and then some?
After a short bit, you'll get a text back saying, what are we talking about? She means, well, I'll just, for the context, she means, like, how much?
Yeah, I'll text back, well, I've got a cell phone bill now, so maybe $300.
For how long?
I don't think my contract cancels for, like, a year.
She'll text back, she's gonna text back that, she'll agree to 300 for now, and she'll see after she finds out what the information is.
Ike's gonna text back, I was kidding about the year part. And, say, yeah, I just need some scrap to cover the expenses of learning things. And, text her the information about the Envo Tech stuff, what he saw, and keep the Jimissy thing for himself, because she didn't pay for that shit.
Okay. Right before you text her the full information, because I imagine it'll take you a little while to type it out, after the bit where you said that you were joking, she's going to text back, sorry, I've never dealt with a 13-year-old Lasombra before.
Yeah, at the end of his text giving her the information, he's going to put, don't worry, this is my first time meeting a cheeky Primogen Bruja.
Alright, so what are you, is that the end of your evening then?
For the night, yeah, Ike's just going to probably keep walking around, just asking other homeless people, dishing out little bits of money, small numbers, for nothing, just to keep people interested. And go check out, I think one of the homeless people saw that they saw a certain manhole where a someone just, like lifted the manhole. He's gonna just maybe go walk around and see what it looks like. But other than that, he's good for the night if no one bothers him.
Alright, I will clarify that when you ask for, or when you go to see where that manhole was, the person had told you it was about maybe 6 blocks away from where you guys originally entered the night you went looking through the sewers.
Yep, he's just gonna kind of look at it and look for anyone else around, maybe street food salesmen, stalls, anyone who seems like they'd be busy late at night, and just maybe ask them some questions and try to be friendly and use that enchanting voice.
Alright, sounds good. Let us get back to Kim. I think is a good roundabout. She is in the morgue after getting yelled at by her sire, trying to quickly get ahead with work. And after a little while, her cell phone's going to go off. And if she checks it, she will see it is the number for, I don't know, I forget his last name. I want to get that right. Nathaniel Hatcher.
Oh!
Yes, so Nathaniel Hatcher is a medical researcher that the Prince Regina had put her in contact with after Regina found out Kim was interested in learning more about the werewolf blood. She said that he might have some information. When Nathaniel Hatcher had met with her in person, he said that she would greatly enjoy meeting another colleague of his known as Douglas Netchurch, who has done massive research into kindred blood, vitae, and may have some interesting information to share with her. He said that they would set up a dinner sometime soon, so he's calling her at the moment in the morgue.
Shit. She, peels off her bloody gloves, throws them in the trash can, okay. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Brown. This is Nathaniel Hatcher. We were speaking a few days ago.
Yes. Thank you for calling back. Did you have a date set up for a meeting?
Yes, of course. If tomorrow would not work well for you, I could set up another time, but, Dr. Netchurch is quite busy. That was the only time he gave me, and it took about 3 days to hear back from him.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that. So tomorrow would work wonderfully. Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. And he's gonna give you the name of the restaurant. It's in the city, and you would at least recognize the name of it as like a really swank top star type place.
Okay.
Does about I'd say 9 o'clock work for you?
That works fantastic, thank you.
Perfect. We will see you then. And he's gonna like kind of trail off and pause for a moment and go, I think I may have mentioned this before, but let me advise you that Dr. Netchurch has a very interesting personality. I'm just going to say that he sometimes can come off a bit strange even for your clan, in particular because sometimes he seems as though he doesn't believe in what he is. I just didn't want you to be too shocked.
I hadn't. Okay. I
Brilliant man. You will absolutely love him. He's a fantastic man to speak to you about the medical research, especially for our kind. But other than that, just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So tomorrow at 9 then.
Yes, good. Is there anything else you need?
Not that I couldn't discuss better over dinner.
Fair enough. We will see you then. Have a good evening, Dr. Brown.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. I imagine that would probably be the end of the night for Kim, because she is supposed to be working.
Yeah, she's actually not going to feed tonight either, so she's going to absolutely need to the next day because she's too busy.
Yes, that makes sense. But so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Alright, since Angel and Felix are actually already the next night and we're wrapping up everything else for everybody, we could kind of get that started. So, Kim is going to finish up the night working in the morgue, her actual day job, quote unquote. And then the next evening she will likely, I imagine, go to work for a bit and make it clear to Fargus that she'd already made these plans and be gone for about an hour. Does that sound about right? Elfish.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound about right? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right. Sorry.
That's
I
fine.
nodded. I didn't.
I looked away for a second, so I didn't see it. Alright, so then she will, I also imagine, get dressed in something other than her scrubs.
Yes, no, she would actually not be in scrubs for like the first time in visible game history.
Yeah. Alright, so you walk me through yourself getting to the restaurant.
Yeah, okay, so this time she does let her sire know where she is going. For once. Because she figures this one will at least be excused. But, she wears, like, nice black slacks and, like, a nice top and does her, like, puts her hair up that isn't, like, just in a bun away from her face and actually kind of looks nicer. And she, after kind of studying a little bit, like maybe the first hour or two after she wakes up, then she heads over to the restaurant.
Okay. So you arrive there, you tell the maitre d' your name, and he walks you over to a table where Nathaniel Hatcher and Dr. Douglas Netchurch are already sitting. Dr. Netchurch is skinny, very like gaunt face. Looks like in life he wasn't a big fan of eating. You can get a very like stern, focused sense out of his body language and the way he looks. Short blonde hair and like kind of round, almost like Ben Franklin-ish, small little glasses on his face. So Nathaniel Hatcher jumps up immediately, welcoming you to the table, pulls your seat out for you, and shakes your hand and says, Dr. Brown, Kim, thank you for coming and joining us. And Netchurch will also stand up and very stiffly just reach out a hand to shake yours.
Oh! She nods at him. It's like, yeah. Doesn't want to touch people still.
Nathaniel will kind of catch that again and almost he's gonna put like his hands together and just like shake them at you and give him a quick little hand, and Netchurch is gonna put his hand back but doesn't seem to have any real reaction to it and sits back down. Nathaniel's gonna sit down as well and motion for you to do as well.
Okay. It is a pleasure to meet you, sir.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well, Kim. Nathaniel was telling me you have some interest in studying a certain type of blood.
I do, as well as the particular effects of that blood.
Very nice. The waiters are gonna come by, and Nathaniel and Douglas Netchurch are both going to order very nice dishes and like a couple glasses of wine.
I'll do it to keep up appearance. Not like I can eat it though. Like
Nathaniel's gonna give you just a slight kind of nod, like, yeah. So, after the waiters take the orders and leave, Netchurch is going to like fold his hands under his chin and kind of give you a bit of a up and down look. So, what is it you have found so far?
it is particularly interestingly the compounds within the blood react negatively to anything with silver in it, for one thing. As well, like in a particular way, like you would think that would be. Obviously, it's interesting in and of itself. However, I've heard apparently since then that it's fairly common knowledge. But I found that it was interesting to see it firsthand. At least I'm a bit of a novice at this.
Yes, and he's going to rub his chin a little. That is very interesting. Of course, someone would say that has to do with some sort of curse upon their kind, but of course, I understand you would realize that there has to be something else.
Yes.
So Nathaniel's going to shrug his shoulders a little bit and kind of just play with his napkin a little bit. After a moment, well, Kim, in fact, he's gonna look a little confused and nervous, and Netchurch is gonna keep plowing on. So has Nathaniel told you about my work?
Somewhat, only more that it has to do with the particular field that I'm trying to research, and that, if you would be so kind, that would be a valuable resource to me.
So he's going to, with his, like, steeple fingers, he's going to, like, lean back. Well, in my line of work in particular, I honestly have not looked into the kind that you are. I've been focusing more on ours. It is not my initial findings. I have to give that to a colleague of mine, but we have developed the VEU, or the Vitae Efficiency Unit, and it's a measurement system for our blood, the way our condition transfers the intake.
What's the standard unit of measurement there? Is it a normal cc of, is it a normal dram of kind blood?
we consider there are a couple different I say a measurement, but there's a couple different portions. Think of it almost like measuring cups to ounces and back and forth, different milliliters. You know, we have to consider the fact that we're talking about two different things, and the transformation, what happens in our bodies, what it does if it's the same amount, how it can transfer. I've met some of my kind that it seems more potent than mine or yours. And so we've been trying to develop an understanding of why this happens, how it happens, what our chemistry is doing to make that happen.
This is exactly what I wanted to try to figure out. This sounds absolutely fantastic and exactly like what I wanted to try to learn, particularly how it affects the brain in my particular area. Because since it doesn't seem to have a pulse, how can it feed through the brain in such a way that we still function cognitively without it having a pulse or moving it through that membrane?
Netchurch starts to look very excited. Yes, of course. Obviously, there's no such thing as curses. The myths about our kind that circle around are just absolute fairy tales. There has to be something underlying how and why this works, right? And Nathaniel's going to be across the table nodding along. He's going to kind of cut into Netchurch and say, you, about the brain, what have you found there?
In particular, after I myself ingest, it's got it's far more active. It looks more like it's closer to the original state where it fires more along the actual neuron pathways. However, it also, in my case, seems to fire along similarly to, say, not necessarily a schizophrenics, but maybe someone with some kind of disorder, which is very interesting because I still remember, and I scan myself in the CAT scan every time the CT scan every time that I feed, as well as often as I can, and it seems to be very interesting because, again, like I said, it lights up, but it almost lights up incorrectly. It lights up as if I was previously, but as if I was someone else.
Very interesting, Dr. Kim. And that was Netchurch speaking. You've been performing CTs on yourself after ingesting?
I try to, as often as I think it's safe.
Very, very interesting. And we will go back to Ike for now. Woo! So Ike has been wandering around the city getting information from people that he has paid off previously or newly, that sort of thing.
He's going to be wandering in the direction to the Set compound, or at least wherever Roland met, what's his name?
Where you met Dominic?
Where Roland met Dominic. I have never met Dominic.
That's what I meant. Okay, so you are going to head towards that compound. Let me get your picture up. So as you get up to the building, which is a very large brick, kind of estate. It's a very gorgeous building. It's even got a decent sized yard in front of it, and a strange thing to see around New York. It's filled with large, willow trees, and the only lighting anywhere near the building, even street lighting, is just those small little light pad things along a stone path that leads up to the front door that is, the width of two people. It's very kind of old style wooden big door. And outside you don't see anyone moving around. There's no bodyguards or anything outside. You just see a limo and one other nice car parked in a long driveway.
So no animals, nobody at all that I can see. Is it well lit with lights or dark?
It's very dark around this place. Like I said, not even streetlights are particularly nearby. There's only tiny little, like, just lights to see enough to walk through the yard and not walk into a tree.
Alright, let's, is the gate easy enough to, like, climb over and jump? Or is it, like, barbed wire top or anything?
No, it's a nice iron wrought gate, but it's easily, you can get up and over it. Give me a Dex and Athletics for fun. You're playing World of Darkness, so it's like, meh, for fun, roll.
Before I jump, before I even get close to, like, too close to the gate, I do want to bring up, I do want to use Shadow Play to give me some extra stealth die, which is just going to be sticking to me and following me around.
Okay.
So that's 1 blood point down. And you said Dex and
Athletics for any kind of climbing, jumping, falling gracefully. And yes, that was a Toy Story reference.
four successes.
Alright, so you easily, like a little squirrel, can get up the fence over and I maybe imagine like maybe just like hold on to the bars to slide down quietly and land in the yard. At this point, what are you doing next?
Any door or windows on the side of the house that look open? Anything but the front door. Anything that looks like it might be an opening or a way to get in.
The building is a little bit L-shaped almost, so it's like the door is actually this side facing the fence, and then parallel to the fence is another portion of the building that goes out this way, and there's windows on the first floor that are on that side that don't look blocked or blacked out, like a lot of Kindred buildings often are. Most of the windows that look blocked or blacked out are actually on the second floor. So, and there's also a couple more on the side closer to where the door is, but I'm just gonna say, like, obviously it seems like, you don't want to go too close to the door if you're avoiding the door. But that other side of the building has some windows. They don't have, like, the bars on them like a lot of city buildings do, but they don't look open.
We're just going to walk around and sort of like slowly make my way around the windows, looking in, seeing if I see any people, anyone moving around inside the building, and any window that looks like maybe I could get in. Second story too, any open windows or anything like that.
Alright, give me a wits and stealth roll against 7.
Two successes.
Alright, as you travel around stealthily, looking for some kind of entrance, you find in the other side of the building, so opposite of the long part of the L, there does look like a window that's been cracked. Seems like, maybe just to get some, like, fresh air inside the building.
Is it first floor or second floor?
First floor.
Alright, we're going to walk up to that guy and see if she moves.
Okay.
Like, see if the window looks like it'll actually move, or if it's, like, blocked or just cracked.
Oh, okay. So you put your hands and try to, like, feel it.
Push it open some, yeah.
Yeah.
See if it has any give.
You feel it move just like a touch, so it feels like it isn't, like, locked.
I'm going to push her open and make sure I don't see anybody.
Which one are you doing first?
Well, first, yeah, like look around as far as I can
Give me a
see.
deception alertness to see if you can see anyone inside the room, which does look like it's kind of pitch black.
No success.
In the very dark room, you do not see any form or really hear anything. So, from your point of view, it looks like no one's in there.
Alright, I'm gonna open the window, and I guess the screen's probably on the outside. So pop the screen off and get in.
Alright, so you make it inside the room. It looks like it's a small kitchen, like not even really much around, just like not even a stove. There's just kind of like a fridge and a counter with a sink in it, a table in the middle, another like couple drawers nearby, and another countertop, but doesn't look like it's even designed to cook any food in there.
Alright, still no people though. Do I hear any sound at all in this house now that I'm inside?
You do hear some footsteps walking nearby, not just outside the door, but kind of near in the hall.
Is there a door in between me and the footsteps?
Yes, so from where the window is, kind of across, but a few feet over is a door.
Alright, let's move quietly to the door and like pull my ear up to it and see if I can hear them moving away, closer.
It sounds like the footsteps walk a bit closer, pause for about maybe 20 seconds, and then keep walking further away from the door.
Alright, I'm gonna slowly open the door and like pull it open just as little as I can to like see out, and maybe just as wide as my body is so I can slip through if I want to.
Okay. So you managed to kind of slip out through the door. You're now in a hallway. It's also very, very dark. There's not even really any lights. The closest lights you can see are from a far corner that looks like the end of the hallway, opposite of the way the feet were moving, and but still very low lights, like just like a small lamp probably on.
Any stairs? Anything that looks like maybe it leads to stairs, like a...
Where you are just looks like a long hallway that goes to this direction, like to your left, with more doors and another like turned hallway at the very end, but closer to you looks like the opening of a hallway into more of a living area, foyer type thing.
Alright, let's check out the foyer and see if there's maybe stairs in there.
Alright, give me dexterity stealth. Because the guy is kind of further down the hallway, but he's still near you. You can see him moving away. God damn.
Only 5 successes.
So you move silent as a ghost from the little kitchen down the hallway out to the foyer area, and with those many successes, I already know that there's no one in there at the moment, so you can even sneak through there. In this larger living room area, you see far more furniture. There is, as I've kind of explained before, a few areas that look like places to relax in a more Indian style. It's like a rug and a lot of pillows with a small table. There's a couple hookah pipes around. Walls are decorated with strange Egyptian looking and vaguely pagan type stuff along the walls, some statues, things like that. Then at the very far end is a set of stairs.
Up the stairs we go!
Alright, you got a ton of successes, so I'm gonna let you get up the stairs without rolling another roll, but I would say roll one more time once you get up there to make sure you're not heard by anyone who might be up on the second floor.
Well, 1 success.
One success, so not bad. It's a minor, you realize maybe the last step was a little more creaky, so you slow your movements and stop at the first step without even turning your head around and just listen. And listening, you'll hear what sounds like a man's voice, later age but not too older, maybe 30s would be your guess, speaking to someone, and you can hear even like a couple other slightly ambient voices. None of the actual discussion is very significant from a lot of the voices. Some of it sounds, a little, like a couple people are getting their freak on. But the one voice that seems the clearest and the most clean, like they're not on anything. A lot of the other voices sound like they're maybe had a drink or two or on something. The one that sounds the clearest is explaining to someone about needing to get some product moved.
Fuck it. Right? Fuck it? Everyone agrees? Fuck it? Let's fuck it. We're gonna spend, how does Arms of Abyss and Black Metamorphosis work stack? Oh no, actually. We're going to do, Shroud of Night to make a cloud of inky blackness around me. Well, in general, and I'm going to keep it stuck to the ceiling of the hallway.
Good. So that's what we'll start next week. Alright. Now, let's get to Nate heading home with a couple pieces of paper in his pocket to go and speak with Claudia.
And Nate will be a good boy and get home without looking at the forbidden piece of paper.
Oh, I did actually see your question. Sorry I didn't get a chance to answer it. But so with the blood bond, it wouldn't affect you like any kind of dominate feeling of like, no, I can't look at this because I'm blood bonded to Claudia. It would be more of a close relationship. No, I don't want to potentially ruin the trust and I care about this person. That would, if you chose not to, that would be the driving force, more so than any kind of like, I can't, unless she said something. That someone can exert that with a blood bond, but without her saying anything, it's only just gonna feel like I shouldn't. So Nate gets home back to the apartment, walks in. Claudia is doing what she sometimes does when she's thinking and is pacing a bit, but she actually like pauses suddenly when she sees Nate, knowing that he had gone off to actually she didn't know what he was doing. She'd asked him to go to see the Nosferatu, but wasn't sure if that's what it was, so she just Nate, where have you been?
I'm back from a meeting with Gerard.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Did you get anything?
Yeah, he'll reach into his pocket and pull out the price for the information first, and hand it out to Claudia, but just that awkward, like, too far away for her to easily snatch it, so he's obviously not handing it over just yet. This is the price that Gerard is asking for. Now, weirdly enough, he told me to more or less phrase him, you would be very upset with me if I read his price.
She's going to very quickly step over to where you are since you didn't come closer to her and snap it out of your hands and unfold the gross kind of damp ripped up paper, and you can see her eyes like immediately light up at just even the first like 2 words and scan like the 2 other lines. It was pretty short, and just like immediately crumble it in her hand and start breathing a little bit heavily. Again, just, you know, vampires don't need to breathe, but it can be like just a inbound thing from once being human. She's just like, her fist is going more knuckle white even for a pale vampire, and she just stares off.
Now I'm almost dying to know what I shouldn't know.
Is that in character or not?
Oh, that's what Nate says to Claudia.
Claudia is going to stomp off over towards her desk. She has a paper shredder and shoves it in there and just like kind of puts her hands spread out on her desk and like through gritted teeth. What information did you get?
Nate will look incredibly disappointed at this point and visibly upset that Claudia's choosing not to share this, but he holds out the piece of paper. This is what he's giving up front. It's the list of information that he has on Dominic. He apparently, his sire is well known with is relatively high up, if not the highest up in the Setites in the city, and he has extensive resources available to him because apparently he has potent blood or something that make having ghouls and people bonded to him incredibly easy.
Claudia's fingers shaking a little bit, runs her hand through her hair. Just read it.
The face of the Setites. If anyone deals with the Setites, it's their ghouls herd at the top, Dominic. He has a massive number of herd and ghouls due to his blood. Many of the humans and the ghouls vaguely understand he isn't human and or obviously a vampire, but otherwise know nothing about Setites, their religion, temple, etc. Dominic's sire is far higher, if not one of the top 2 amongst the Setites in the city. Dominic works for them, besides being the face, is the organization and push of bot pleasures, and his specialties/abilities lend him well to controlling and driving pleasures in others. What's the sire's name and info? Get me what I ask for.
1 second. Claudia punches her desk and actually kind of almost breaks it a bit in the middle. It's very splintered now. And turns around towards Nate, just foul, like, growling face at him. But thank you, Nate. I appreciate you going to see the Nosferatu.
Of course, it wasn't a problem. Claudia, are you alright?
I'm fine.
No, you're not!
Nate, this doesn't concern you. I'm fine. The information will be delivered to Gerard. We'll be able to get more out of him soon.
Why do I have a feeling you're gonna go do something incredibly stupid for this... I thought I was the one who did stupid things. We're rolling.
I'm not going to do anything stupid. It's nothing that'll hurt either of us. It's just personal.
Fine. Well, I guess I'll eagerly await your return then.
What are you talking about?
With the rest of the information, you said you were going to go visit him.
No, I can send it to him. I don't need to go see him. In fact, I don't want to see his stupid, smug face. I'll just send it to him over the camnet.
Well. Alright.
Anyway. Do you have any thoughts on what we should do next?
Well, unfortunately, it looks like this entire waste of space is much more heavily entrenched within the Setites than I was hoping. I don't know. I guess it halfway depends on what Gerard has on his sire, whoever he is. I'm not sure at this point, but really, I'm still kind of on the note that we should just firebomb their entire enterprise and damn the consequences.
Claudia starts pacing again, kind of opening and closing her fists, and is just like, Nate, don't tempt me to get my rifles out.
Of course not. That would be a terrible idea.
I heard the sarcasm in your voice. I said, don't tempt me.
So at this point, we, I guess, hope that Roland finishes that blood bond. We get ourselves into, see what information Ike is able to return, and we wait for Roland to return and see if Dominic plays any more of his hand. I mean, he obviously has some goal in mind. He's not stupid enough. He's too important to just randomly want to be selling drugs in Camarilla territory. There's a greater motivation to it. What profit is there in money to a vampire? Put $100 in a bank account, come back in 100 years of interest. You're fine.
Claudia pauses her pacing and nods at what you're saying, but then starts shaking her head. That's no, the Setites, obviously they need money, but that's easy enough for any kindred with enough wits and resources to get. What I know of them is their desire to spread their corruption, the things they do. It's like a religion for them. I don't understand the finer details, but whatever they're doing is, I believe the concern is more so spreading their drug trade, not anybody else's, for themselves, not even the money that comes back. They want more people addicted, more people using, more people buying from them, not for the money, but for what they do. And from what you told me off of that information from Gerard about Dominic, then a ton of herd and ghouls, I mean, that sounds like Toreador shit. I don't understand exactly what he wants, but there's obviously more people addicted to his shit and not just addicted in general.
So you're saying this man gets off on knowing that people are dependent on him, that people worship him, that people need him?
Setites are like a cult, so they want more people being affected by them than anything else.
These guys almost make the case themselves to making some rash decisions.
I said don't tempt me.
A bunch of Bruja in a room all telling each other, let's be calm about this.
pretty much. It's getting a little later, so we could finish this conversation if we need to next week. But let us get back to Roland in the basement of his club with Benedict O'Connell and... Oh, damn it, this whole time I've had Ike's pictures up. I'm sorry. But we'll have Roland, O'Connell, and Benedict in a room now. Somebody yell at me when I do that.
Ready?
So Benedict had just arrived. He was skirting around Clementine, who's still showing off. She's at this point where she only knows so much, so she's kind of repeating herself, but she's a really excited, 7-8-year-old girl, and she's just happy to like keep doing it until someone tells her to stop because she's having fun and she wants to show off. So Benedict had just asked, how things are going. Roland had said fine, but in a tone that Benedict immediately realized meant not fine at all. So he wanders around to stand in front of where Roland and O'Connell are sitting on the bed and just puts like his hands on his hips and goes, "Yeah, cut the fucking bullshit and tell me what the hell's going on."
And I'll give a look towards O'Connell. Should you tell him, or should I?
Tell him what? You told me a ton of shit in the last hour.
He'll look towards... I need O'Connell to blood bond me for a little bit.
Benedict, with his hands on his side, looks at, like, between the two of you, is just silent for, like, a good 10 seconds or so, and just bursts out laughing. What the fuck did I miss?
So those Setites that you told me to stay away from, something happened, a long story short. One of them is trying to blood bond me, so now I need Sunshine to make sure she has more control over me than he does.
Benedict crosses his arms with a big dumb smile on his face and looks over at O'Connell like, You agreed to this, huh? And she's gonna look away a little, like, kind of she's like,
"Shut up, Benedict."
Clementine's going to stop practicing now and wander over since everybody has now kind of gathered in a group talking. What's going on?
I feel like I'm giving the birds and the bees speech. I'll look at Benedict and Sunshine for help. Like, what do I say? Like, come on.
They're both gonna just shake their heads. That's your problem, bro.
Clementine, when a vampire drinks another vampire's blood, that vampire can gain powers over the other one, so I'm drinking Sunshine's blood to make it so she has more power over me than another vampire.
O'Connell is going to, like, slap her hand over her mouth.
This, Clementine, no, it's more like, it's more like we're helping each other out right now. Put it more like a...
And she's gonna make, like, kind of a slightly disgusted groan in her throat. Just,
boyfriend and girlfriend working on a project.
And Clementine's going to look very confused. Benedict is trying hard not to laugh too much. And Clementine's going to stare at her kind of like, Okay.
At the sound of her last statement, Roland kind of just like full on like turns and looks at her. Yes, she's helping me out with something, and it's just kind of complicated. When you're older, I'll explain it to you.
O'Connell's gonna give a minor, just quick kind of dagger look.
Yes, like it's exactly as she says it. Don't worry.
Benedict finally calms down a bit from his laughter and just. Anyway, so that's happening apparently. He puts his hands kind of more relaxed in his pockets and says, "So, how have things been going with the serpent?"
I mean, I'm guessing I don't need to like completely retell it, but I'll just give him all the information I have. Dominic, where they're at, the bodyguards, and everything that happened.
Right, most of that's pretty much what you told me before, so, what are you doing next? I've been trying to look into this sewer shit that you and, a couple other neonates you've apparently become friends with lately have been asking me, and, all I found lately is it seems there's some weird shit going on, but I haven't seen anything crazy, just kind of, there's some rats, look like they were either fucked by our kind or the Jamissi, I'm not sure yet.
Well, they went down to this. Yes, Zemisi, is that what you just said? Yes, they found one or something. They didn't give me too much information. I didn't really listen.
Say that again?
I was just telling them that they talked about it a little bit, that they found a Jamissi down in the sewer or something like that, but I don't know like much information about it.
Benedict will look a little contemplative and just think, Alright, so they found one, but I mean, this is a city that used to be owned by them. I'm sure there's plenty more skulking around in abandoned warehouses and all kinds of shit like that. That's what they like to do, and even if they've been kicked out, some of them make their way back. So, it's not good news, but it's certainly not reason to assume there's some sort of secret war happening in the sewers.
Ike said something about feeling multiple, I don't know, something about how there would probably be a lot of them, or plans and wanting to hurt others. I don't know. My mind was, he'll kind of give a look towards Sunshine. My mind was elsewhere.
He's going to give a bit of an awkward laugh, and O'Connell's gonna just snap her eyes toward Benedict, the same she gave you a second ago. Benedict, shut the fuck up. Alright, listen. And he's gonna look at Sunshine. How about you and I go have a conversation ourselves, maybe go find a bite to eat, and we'll come back later and sort this out some more.
Yes, that'd be great. That'll give me time just to hang out with Clementine.
So O'Connell gets up off the bed and heads out with Benedict. Clementine, who was standing nearby and just listening quietly, hops onto the bed, looking up at you. Really, Roland, is everything okay?
Roland kind of like lets out a sigh, just like, like parenthood. Like, okay, all right, we got this. Yes, everything is actually working out quite all right, Clementine. It's just a little complicated.
She's got her sword in her hand still, like she's just like kind of like dangling it, like kind of between like her legs and kicking her legs back and forth. And it's just kind of like, okay, I mean, I trust you, Roland. I just want to make sure everything's alright. After like maybe a moment of quiet, she's gonna start like slashing it through the air again. I was like, so when I actually get to use this,
Who do you want to use it against?
She shrugs and looks at me with big beaming eyes.
Whoever's, messing with you and Benedict and O'Connell?
In due time, after a few more lessons, I think, from our good buddy Nate, I think you'll be able to take on the world.
She laughs really full-hearted, genuine at that. Yeah, I'm gonna be best.
Her sword is just like one-handed, right? Is there any way she could grip the handle with two hands?
Oh, she could. It would definitely be like a hand wrapped around hand, because it's a rapier, but it still has a good hilt.
Do you want me to teach you a move? I know Nate is your master, but maybe I could teach you something that surprises him.
Yeah.
I'll go and I'll teach her like a axe, just like full double hand home run bat swing.
I think you had a smaller run around. You could actually just teach her with that.
Sure.
Alright, so Roland goes and teaches Clementine how to cleave someone's face off.
Right off.
Yeah, so after you give her the stance and arm movements for that, she starts giggling and goes, "This is so much better than school."
About that, I almost forgot. We do need to get you some kind of lesson learning schooling, I'd imagine.
Oh, the school's boring.
It won't be like school. It'll just, you need to learn some basics. So when you get older, you're not lacking.
Fine.
It doesn't have to be now. It doesn't have to be tomorrow, but at some time we have to teach you something.
Okay. We'll wrap up there for the night and go on to... let's finish up with Angel and Felix, and then we'll go back to Kim for a bit for the end of the night. So back at the hotel motel, little like shack
Holiday
in
Inn.
a... Huh?
You said hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
Motel 6. We've got color TV! So Angel and Felix have been speaking with Sean and Sarah. Just found out that they have they've been blackmailed with Sarah's brother, Ash, who is apparently being held by potentially a werewolf, into getting some paperwork that is hidden in Angel's shop somewhere. And Angel, in his sort of like nobility sense, well, he's so pissed at the two, kind of feels like, no, I don't like that. That has to be fixed. And Felix has been going along and helping Angel with all of this. Things have been kind of wrapping up, though. The two of them said that they would stay at the same motel, promise they won't run because they can't. The whole point they're even in the city is to find Ash and get him back. So let's wrap the scene up and then maybe even find out what Angel and Felix might do for the rest of the night.
Okay, so the last thing that I asked was what or like how Jeremy contacted them, how they met, when they met, where they met.
So, one sec. So Sean answers, myself, Sarah, and Ash, we'd been squatting in a place nearby for a little while here in New York, just looking to kind of score or whatever, get a bit of extra money, move to the next city. But we wound up in this area near Envotech Labs. We wound up taken up in a hotel. No one knew us here, so we just used our real names, and you know, a night or two later, someone had taken Ash when he was out on his own. Honestly, dude, like, I'm trying to just tell you as much as I know, but I don't really know how all this happened. It was the same night. It was fast. Guy took Ash, got in contact with us, told us where to meet him. It was like some kind of, you know, abandoned warehouse. Met him there. He told us he had Ash and told us what we needed to get for him. That was about it. I don't have much.
But like, how did he tell you he needed to meet you? Like, did he give you a phone? Was there like a message under the door? Like, what was that?
There was a message on my phone, but it was blocked.
See, that might be useful.
What do you mean?
Oh, come on, you know how the Nazis are. They can unblock.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know any in this fucking city or any others, really.
I promise I know a couple.
So, he'll pull out his cell phone and, scroll through and is like, and then suddenly realize, like, can't fucking give you any information. And he, like, pauses and seems to contemplate for a moment and says, look, if you know the Nosferatu and you can get anything out of it, and he hands you his cell phone.
Alright, I'll work on this. I don't got anything else. You got something, Felix?
Oh, maybe. What's your brother's name?
Ash.
Last name.
And, it's a moment between the two is,
And no fake names.
Sarah speaks up quietly and just goes, Ferenz. It's a F-E-R-R-I-N-S.
Okay. I could use that information to help track him down.
And yours, I imagine it's not actually Sean.
Yeah, it's Greg. Greg Waters.
All right.
And this is a long shot, but do you have a picture of Jeremy? Like I said, long shot, but
or a description. You saw him, right?
Yeah, no, this is Sean speaking. Yeah, no, he was I guess, average to slightly taller height for a guy, medium length, dark hair, medium size, like, kind of scraggly beard, covered in tattoos. At the time, at least, he was wearing, like, a tank top and shorts, probably his standard style, I guess, but, darker skin, dark eyes. Maybe minor, Latin or Middle Eastern. It was, I don't know, maybe he's mixed, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask him to, like, identify any specific tattoos, any really identifiable ones, whether you would actually know that or not.
Man, I was pretty freaked out. I wasn't really looking at his tattoos. He has full sleeves and, like, maybe a bit up here on the chest, darker colors, nothing bright.
So you didn't, like, catch anything, like any single tattoo didn't stick out?
No, it didn't really look like gang or specific stuff. It like it's sleeves. I mean, it's hard to tell the whole thing.
All right.
So Jean's actually gonna, like, put his arms, like, kind of gently around Sarah and step back even, like, a pace and just kind of, like, hold her gently. So, is that it? I mean, can we, like,
yeah,
follow up later?
And just a quick description of your brother, in case we find him.
Yeah, and Sarah will cut him off. Yeah, he's, I mean, he looks a little bit like me. A little darker skin, kind of, you know, he's got short hair, rounder face, he's taller than I am. He usually, I mean, he changes his style, so last we saw him, he was wearing, like, just a casual outfit or whatever.
All right.
All right. We'll be in contact.
They don't really say anything else.
All right. Felix will leave.
I will also head out.
And as he leaves, he goes out into the hallway. He'll fish for Candlestick, who's now a stack ball of fuzz after he made himself a 40-watt Tremere. Because he did dispel it, charge it on him, but it was just like the rat was like.
Candlestick is gonna like dog style, like just kind of like shake it off.
He's just gonna put that on the shoulder. Yeah, it's New York. No one's everyone's. And head to the car, not saying anything until really to the car.
So you
All right,
guys make it back to Angel's car, and
You got any plans?
I have a theory.
Yeah, we're set, and I'm gonna pull into gear and get out on the road.
Do you have Kim's number?
Yeah, I got Kim's number.
We might need to talk to Kim.
It kind of makes sense. This is another instance. The fucking werewolves in town, and shit's getting super fucking suspicious.
Well, if I was a Lupin, which I am not, but if I was a normal person, and someone was looking for, I don't know, 3 werewolves who are having their blood possibly bled. I really need to work on my literature. But if I was, trying to figure out where my Lupin brothers were, I'd recruit a vampire, maybe forcefully, Kindred, I should say, Kindred, to help find them.
Holy fucking shit, you may got a point.
And I think Endotech might be an interesting place to look into. I think it was maybe a reach to go after you. You said that you encountered them. I don't know what kind of Lupins can do.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I'm gonna have to have a discussion with my sire. That's gonna be interesting, but I don't know anything about Infotech.
This is the first time I've heard that name.
I'll pull out my phone. I will open up Kim and this is the burner phone. Open up the one contact one of the 2 contacts I have on that phone, and hand it over to him to call Kim.
okay. This will actually be before even her time during this in-game time. She's at the dinner with Netchurch and Nathaniel. So we'll pick that up next week. You guys calling. So let's wrap up the night with Kim in her conversation. It won't end tonight, so we'll pick that up again later. But let's have a little more chat between Kim, Nathaniel, and Netchurch. What was kind of the last bit that got covered in the conversation?
Literally science babble about how werewolf blood reacts molecularly to kindred blood, and what the standard
I knew it was a lot of babble. I was like,
what the standard unit of measurement is for potency of said types of blood. It was literally a bunch of science technobabble.
I think the last thing was either Nathaniel or Netchurch asking you a bit more about your you gave them all the information about when you did the CT scans yourself of after feeding, it seemed firing in your brain, even though your brain is dead and doesn't normally show anything. But otherwise, you said it reminded you sometimes of schizophrenic things. So Netchurch is going to lean a little closer, and about this time also the food arrives, and but all 3 of you kind of obviously sort of ignore it. But the waiter just sets it down and says bon appetit and leaves. Netchurch is gonna lean in a little bit and say, Kim, Nathaniel here tells me that you're the same, as others phrase it, clan as I am.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, again, this is no kind of magic myth nonsense about curses affecting our kind, but there is something that separates ourselves from any, like, points at Nathaniel, Ventru, and all the others. Something is different. Have you managed to find anything in your research that seems to lean towards something different in yours, or perhaps others?
I hate to say that it's in the blood, but it seems to be entirely in the blood. As far as I can tell, and this is going to start sounding a little bit spiritual, but I promise I'm trying to quantify it scientifically. That's my entire motivation. Depending on who I feed on, even among kine, it looks different in the scans. So I would say then, therefore, considering our blood has a stronger amount of potency, that given that it traces down from person to person, and even sends it then out as it goes, that it has everything to do with the type of blood that it is, maybe something in the DNA, maybe something combined. The whole is always greater than the sum of its parts. So it's something worth looking into.
I agree. Especially with our kind, and I mean that more so than Nathaniel here. The consideration of our grouping, it seems to change each time this thing is passed one to another. It's not the same one to another. You understand?
No, it isn't.
So,
That's also an interesting. I would like to get samples. Unfortunately, that's a bit personal.
that is, and you know, without volunteers, far more complicated. I understand. Yes. He's going to pause and oddly, like, just spend some time kind of moving his food around his plate. Like, almost looking like he's gonna take a bite, but doesn't, and Nathaniel also kind of just leans back in his chair, kind of looking at his food and pokes it once or twice.
Thinking about something in particular.
Dr. Netchurch shakes his head. No, just another curious thing about our kind. I understand it seems as if our bodies are dead. But of course there's something else going on. There's no way we could still be speaking and moving and everything else we do without being functional, alive. One sense or another of the term.
Well, it's true.
But
magic is only unexplained science.
Of course. And so it's another curious aspect that we can't process food any longer. And Nathaniel, who's been a bit quiet and you've seen his body language, seems occasionally, depending on what Netchurch says, looks a little doubting or awkward, but at that just sort of nods along a little bit like, no.
It's almost like normally we need the different kinds of nutrients in order to survive, but we condensed it down to one trait. However, it's not through an evolutionary thing either, as this is not a genetically reproducible thing as much. It's the stronger is if you just take the blood and don't dilute it.
No, of course. Netchurch then sort of reaches a hand out, like, towards you. Not to touch you, just in that, like, motion of, like, trying to really, like, get your focus. And he goes, we are having a good conversation here, and I think we're open enough to share certain things for the betterment of our Congress. Dr. Kim, do you mind me asking what is considered your special situation? What others would claim it to be, anyway? And he says it with that, like, kind of sarcastic, like, you know, other people claiming something.
You mean what others would say affects my mind?
Yes.
This is what's actually very interesting and what is honestly fueling some of my research. And I hope I'm not mad because of it is so, then a lot of my findings have no basis. But whenever I drink from someone, I get flashes of their memories, or I hear their voices in my head. Things that I wouldn't know. It's almost like people constantly say that the soul is, you know, inside you, that it just exists simultaneously in the same spot with you. But if this is true, then I think I am either drinking pieces of their mind, or I would think more accurately, I'm experiencing a piece of their soul through being able to access it through blood.
At the point that you say the word soul, he chuckles a little bit, shaking his head.
I don't have a better word for it.
No, I understand. It is, I think, one of the most curious specializations of our kind that I've ever heard of. I've only known one other person with it, in fact, and it is definitely, I think, the most strange compared to some of the others I've heard. And we'll leave it there. So, we will wrap up VTM New York by Night at this point for the evening. Episode 10, cool number. And next week we will catch everybody up with more of the game. A little shout out for everybody, like I like to do. Chard, Articus, and Kozark do random variety streaming, so give them a look, check out what they do. Elvis Jame often on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. EST. We'll be doing art streaming, specifically RPG stuff, so she will draw stuff for not only our games, but she's open to drawing for anybody else as well. Anybody else have any little things they want to announce or say?
Demon?
Yeah, I mean, oh, yeah, of course.
I meant to, I don't know. Modi and Zavani don't seem to be streaming yet. I don't know if you ever will. Alright, this week, real quick, we won't be doing Demon on Friday, but definitely next week, Sunday, I will be getting back to Bloodlines, I promise, if anyone has been following that. So I will be playing VTM Bloodlines Sunday night at 7 p.m. EST.